Do you guys know how to eliminate echoes if there is like a echo with a 10 or 20-second delay?
Uh,
There's a trick
we
to it.
have already eliminated an echo once.
Yeah.
Brody, stop.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see. I don't know if it's gonna happen again. Yeah, I just hit it so that we're live now.
Usually happens if your volume button is not muted on the YouTube window.
Oh, I heard a. Oh, you got to mute this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm gonna mute that.
Okay.
Okay. Do you hear any echo now?
I don't hear any.
I don't hear any.
Okay, yeah, I think we're good on all ends then.
Yeah.
So yeah, first live stream I've legitimately hosted. That's pretty exciting. Bad drivers in North Central Maryland already complaining. Oh my gosh, what does this take forever day?
Who else here?
North Central Maryland, Western North Carolina, New York City, some Wade Rutledge, and then us.
Oh, New York City. Who's Book Omnivore?
Me.
That's SC Roadcam.
Yeah, because my Dashcam account is a piece of it. It's like a branched out account.
Oh.
It's pulling that up.
Yeah, so the other people in the stream it's just USC Dashcam and I. We'll see. I'm fingers crossed hoping that Halo will log on at some point this evening and let it join.
He said he was busy.
Yeah, he told me he was busy.
Wait, which avatar are you, USC? You're
the person.
I'm the person. I'm actually me and Maryland are actually legitimately sitting right beside each other.
Oh, okay.
We're on his computer.
The avatars weren't adding up, like the number of them weren't quite adding up.
Yeah, we're physically right beside each other in the same room.
Oh, okay. So you
won't see mine popping up.
Oh, okay.
Although I'm in the stream, I just have everything else muted.
So you're sitting next to who?
Yeah.
Maryland and
we're in the same room. We're
next to each other.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we're in the library.
I was going to be there with them, but I decided to be at home.
So how have you been today, Napa?
I've been okay. Just one of those weeks, you know. I drove through some of the area that burned really bad. That was kind of difficult emotionally to see. Yeah, I was in Sonoma today. So I'll be posting that footage. Like an individual clip, I think, of what some of the aftermath looks like. It's pretty bad. I drove past a dairy farm that's like over 100 years old, and it's burned to the ground.
Oh, wow.
And that thing's been there forever. You know, driving to San Francisco, driving anywhere southwest of Napa, we would, you know, the main highway drives right past this dairy, which was like a iconic landmark, and it's gone. That's really sad.
Yeah. Yeah, I saw in the news a lot of historical places fell victim to that.
Mm-hmm. They did.
Really sad.
So I'm trying to make things right by drinking a beer. You guys thought I'd be drinking wine, and I threw you guys a curveball.
We knew you'd be drinking some sort of alcoholic beverage.
Wine for the win.
Yeah, you can usually count on that during a stream.
I have a question for you because I'm gonna be in your area in like December. I'm visiting some family in Sausalito and like Menlo Park and Belmont. But we may or may not go up to Napa for a day, and I'm just curious to know what your favorite winery is.
Oh boy, what's my favorite winery? Well, let me ask you this: what's your favorite wine or type of wine? That will depend on what kind of wine you like.
I am somewhat young, but so I don't have a ton of experience. But I would go with like a Merlot or a Malbec.
I'm not very knowledgeable on Malbecs, but Merlots. Let's see, where could we hook you up?
Or any places with a good Riesling.
Yeah, Valley's not very big on Riesling. We're big on Merlot. We're big on Cabernet. We're big on. There are many different types of Cabernet even. Cabernet Franc, Cabernet Sauvignon is the big one here. If you want the really good red wines, you got to head a little further into the valley. I tend to be, more into the red wines and the white wines. Now let me stew that one over for a minute.
I like red wine.
Oh, I know, Behringer. That would be a good one.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. That's up in St. Helena, where most of my footage is taken.
Yeah.
It's about a half-hour north of Napa.
Okay. Yeah. I have a touchscreen. USC almost just screwed up the whole thing, sliding around my screen. Didn't know it was a touchscreen.
And just holler if you want to do a meetup.
Yeah. I mean, I'll let you know if we have any time. We're only going to be out there for like 4 or 5 days, and it's for a big wedding anniversary thing, so I'm not entirely sure what our schedule will be, but I'll let you know if we have to.
Yeah. Yeah, it'll be fun.
Yeah.
Good times.
We have a lot of people here already. We got Hampton Roads, Greenville, SC.
Oh, what's up, Greenville, SC?
Western North Carolina. The video isn't working on my phone. Okay, so I've seen a couple people complain already that the video isn't working. Northern Virginia Dashcam says it's not working. Western North Carolina says it's not working on the phone.
It should just be audio, right? Or if the whole thing's not working.
I mean,
Maybe that's what he mean. Yeah.
it's just audio. It's really just our photos being shown. It's not really any video.
Yeah, I wonder if he means he couldn't see the stream at all.
Cola's pretty good right now.
Yeah, it's fine.
It's a little chilly.
We had a whole debacle this morning where
Oh my
planes
God.
stopped across all of our major artery streets. So Rosewood, Assembly, Hugie, and all the streets that connect like the south side of town to the USC campus. So yeah, this morning kind of sucked. It took me an hour and 10 minutes to get to my class, and it usually takes like 9 or 10. So yeah, Cola's pretty lit.
That was crazy this morning. My drive in, I didn't get hit by as much because I don't go over the tracks like you guys do, but I still got hit because people were trying to go around. It was a lot of gridlock everywhere. It was crazy.
Yeah, I just want to say, that was an epic reaction video you guys did.
That was a lot of fun.
That was really fun.
Yeah, that was great.
That was completely like spur of the moment. None of that was planned, which I think makes it even better.
Yeah, we
Yeah,
just
that's
happened to
right.
be watching the video together in the car.
I had to watch that like 15 times. That was. I should have done.
I've watched it a couple times myself.
I should have done a reaction video to your reaction video.
That would have been amazing.
I had to watch
Like the first time I watched it, because you'd get the full effect.
Yeah. Yeah, that was a lot of fun.
How often do you guys meet up?
every week almost.
About once a week, yeah. At least once a week.
Oh, you're gonna have to do more. You're gonna have to do more reaction videos. I gotta see more from you guys.
Oh my
I have
God.
to. Just pick like a compilation of, you know, the dash camera of your choice, and oh, I'd love to see it. Love to see it.
I think we should. I think we can pull that off.
Yeah, I
I
think we
think you
could.
can. I think you can.
We're
That's some new ideas.
yeah, we're gonna do that.
Yeah.
Over here taking notes.
I can hear the pin.
SoCal asked how far do we all go to get to college. Mine is like a 40-minute drive.
Wow.
I mean, I live in Annapolis or near Annapolis, Maryland, and school is in Columbia, South Carolina. So like my literal
I think he means
drive
daily
between here
drive.
and home is about 7.5 hours.
Mhm.
But it takes me usually less than 10 minutes to get to class every day from my house down
Yeah.
here.
Yeah, I live less than 10 minutes from campus, but my actual home's an hour and a half away in Greenville. I could walk to campus if I really wanted to, but I ain't gonna do that.
Too lazy.
Yeah, exactly.
Hampton Roads wants to know if anybody wants in his stream on Friday. I totally would, but I'm actually going home for Thanksgiving on
Yeah,
Friday.
I'll be at work Friday. Well, it depends on what time you do it.
I will
Like-
actually be off, but I will be doing homework.
If you're doing it like after 9:30 at night,
Yeah,
I would totally be able to do it.
I'm planning on getting home around 9:30 or 10, so I might join and just comment a little bit. But I won't be too tired to completely join in the live stream then. But hopefully, you find a couple people who will do it.
Bad drivers of Greenville, yes, we are all living in off-campus housing. It's the way to go.
Yeah, we're
That's
all
finding
older
parking?
than freshmen,
Oh, God,
so
you might as
we
well
have
find
to-
Freshmen.
parking garage.
Freshmen are required to live on campus, but after that, it's hard for upperclassmen to find on campus. You have to apply and get if there's spots left, which I don't think there works. They had to.
Yeah, they actually just approved a preliminary plan for USC to make a budget of many millions of dollars to build 12 new dorm buildings because they keep admitting more and more freshmen every single year.
Because it's a great idea to admit more freshmen, which you require to live on campus, more of them than you have the space for, because that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, they had to buy a couple off-campus facilities just so they could house all of the freshmen.
Yeah. Now, did they? Because I know.
Have y'all not figured out by now that USC is money hungry?
Every university,
Every university
it's a
is money
business.
hungry. Yeah, it's a business.
Not if you go to Tennessee. They've slowly gotten themselves into the free college.
What?
Yeah,
University of Tennessee, Knoxville.
not University of Tennessee. There's a couple of universities in
They're
Tennessee that started
slowly
doing
doing
it.
like free technical college.
Yeah, which, to be honest,
Technical college isn't that expensive to begin with.
well, but if you think about it, if you start your 2 years there, 2 years free, and then you pay for the last 2 years,
Yeah, that's not
how much
bad.
cheaper that is.
Although I will say, I took one math class over the summer, $800 for one math class. I thought that was kind of a lot of money, personally.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You should get paid to do summer classes, honestly.
I after that experience, I told myself I would never take another summer class in my life.
Yeah, so I take summer classes. I'll be
You
taking
try meeting twice a week for like 3 hours in the evening to do math. It's not fun.
See, I have to pay attention to math anyways because they do it one time on the board. I'm like, all right, I got it. Now I'll keep on going.
Greenville, USC is the same way for parking.
Yeah,
It's terrible.
I have nearly gotten in fistfights with people who try and steal a spot that I've been waiting for 3 minutes because some dumb girl was sitting there on her phone while I'm waiting for her spot. She
Probably a
won't pull out.
sorority girl.
Absolutely a sorority. Usually Tri Delta too.
Yeah. It's like,
do-
oh, Brittany, like, oh my gosh, like, I'm not ready to leave yet. I'm going to be leaving in like 10 minutes, but they're still waiting here for my parking. Like, how dumb is that? Like, literally, that's what goes through their head.
Don't you know Tridell is the last choice?
Yeah,
Oh, man.
it's one of them. Napa, how's parking in your town? You got good public parking there?
Oh, I'm sorry. Are you talking to me?
Oh yeah.
Oh, how's public parking? It depends. Downtown's a little tight, but they've been building more parking garages, so that kind of takes the pressure off the street parking. So I'd say it's overall good. Yeah.
I feel like it's good everywhere else in Columbia but USC.
Yeah, we need a lot more parking garages. They keep
We
raising
need,
the
we
prices.
need cheaper parking garages.
Yeah, it's almost $450 a semester. now for a
It's
garage
exactly
pass.
$400 a semester to park in a parking garage.
Yeah, see, I can go to either one of my jobs and park for free. Screw that.
Aren't you lucky?
Well, 2 out of my 3.
Hi, drivers of Hampton Roads, uploading a parking garage dilemma video. Interesting.
SoCal said, just a note, I can't listen to the stream, so I'm only going off the chat.
That's depressing.
You're gonna need a stenographer in here to type everything we say.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I'm not that fast.
I can't type to save my life.
What's the volunteer? Somebody else who's in the chat.
It might have to be a group effort.
Yeah.
Somebody has a shorthand machine.
Oh
It's
my
like
goodness.
literally 6 buttons for pretty much everything that you can say.
Napa,
6 buttons.
echoing.
I think it's 6.
Crazy.
USC, you cut your mic on.
I don't think he did.
Excuse me, I don't even have the window open for that. Nope, I'm muted, so I don't know what you're talking about.
Huh.
Huh.
Oh, well,
Yeah, I'm
is
pretty
there
sure.
an echo or something that
Is
we
it
should
me?
be talking about?
No, it's not me.
I don't know.
I don't know.
Yeah, I can't hear anything.
Greenville
I
asked if you
like
really
living in California. Greenville's asking me if I like living in California.
You honestly like living in California.
Some things I like about it, and some things I really don't like about it, because it's pretty damn expensive here. Like gas I filled up today. It was like $3.44 a gallon,
Oh my
My
God.
good lord.
Oh,
and our cost of living is insane.
Wow.
yeah, I
And
filled up.
everything tends to burn around here or flood. It either floods or it burns.
Floods in
I'm
Columbia.
kind
Yeah,
of tired of natural disasters.
No fires though.
No fires thing.
And just too many people. There's too many people here. It's
$2.20
crazy.
a gallon. Or
Yeah. But that's why it's expensive here, because everyone wants to live here in California. So, yep.
Greenville. He thinks that that's okay.
No, he's just making an exclamation. I know it's not 344 in Maryland.
Oh, never mind.
It's probably like 235 at home
I missed it.
because it's only like 215 down here still.
Oh.
I do, or I see like 220 something.
I go to the Speedway on Sunset in West Columbia or the Loves down at 77 in Bluff.
I went to the Loves down there. It was more. I usually go to the Walmart neighborhood market in KC.
Yeah.
They got pretty cheap gas. So great.
Yeah, but I understand how expensive California is. I mean, we've been out there so many times to visit my aunts and uncles and everyone, and like,
Yeah.
I mean, just finding a hotel and renting a car, like that week-long vacation is almost double anywhere else,
Yeah.
in America. So
Yeah. I think it's just the simple fact that there are too many people here, and supply and demand. Where there's more people, there's more demand.
yeah,
See, these
Yeah.
people are like 237 and 225. Look, I paid 220. I could have paid 217 if I'd have waited like a couple miles more.
yeah. I think that the cost of living in Maryland is more expensive than most places, but we don't have the high gas prices like that. But I mean, around Annapolis, like if you're trying to buy a house and you're not even waterfront and you want it in a safe neighborhood with like, 1,500, 2,000 square foot house, you can expect to pay at least $400,000 for it. And I mean, it would probably be like 700 in California, but
Greenville says, wouldn't you get paid higher wages? Yes, we do get higher wages, but it doesn't compensate for the higher cost of living enough. Like the ratio of the cost of living to what we make is such that our dollar doesn't go very far here at all. So it really sucks. Yeah, it really doesn't compensate for that. Napa Valley is a tourist industry. Hospitality is basically the majority of the jobs here. Most of them just pay minimum wage. And if you've been there for years and years, you might get a little bit better than minimum wage. But yet it's so crazy expensive in Napa that most people who work in the Napa Valley actually live about a half hour, 45 minutes to an hour away, like towards Sacramento, where it's a little bit cheaper to live, but their commutes are crazy. And because of that, we have horrible traffic. So I try to avoid the traffic jams, the peak commute times, because it's literally a parking lot from basically the top of the Napa Valley and down south through the other end of it and into the Bay Area.
to me because I feel like there's such less people in Napa Valley than there are near Oakland and closer to Sacramento and San Francisco. But I guess that,
Well,
relative because Napa Valley is still probably way more densely populated than most other places.
well, the urban areas are pretty densely populated pretty much everywhere, but our urban areas are a little more spread out up here. The clusters are a little more spread out.
Well,
But
let me tell
we
you.
only have two ways to get up and down the valley.
Yeah.
There's Highway 29 or there's the Silverado Trail, and they're both 2 lanes in each direction. So there's no place to pass. So all it takes is one slow driver, and everybody behind him for miles can only go as fast as that slowest person.
I can sympathize with that because I mean, when you're in Maryland, a lot of the time, if you live near the Chesapeake, you live on a peninsula, which means you only have 1 or 2 ways on or off, and there might only be one bridge. So over the summer, we had a couple accidents that would shut down both sides of Route 50, which is the highway that goes close to Annapolis. And I would just be stuck in one spot for 7 hours. So I got out of my car and went to the mall or, walked around downtown.
Yeah. So you can see, that's why I get so annoyed with slow drivers, because they literally can cripple an entire highway.
Yep. Yeah. They are the drivers that I hate the most.
Yeah. Yeah.
Even slow drivers on the interstate.
Yeah.
Even though you have room to pass, they still like boggle it down enough to where it's super annoying.
Going back and forth on 95, if 2 trucks are sitting side by side for 5 miles, then you have 150 cars behind you.
That's my big. I hate when 2 people, one in the left lane, one in the right lane, they're going the exact same speed.
Yeah.
And the car in the left is like probably like, I'm trying to pass them. You can't pass them if they're going like 70 and you're going 71. It's not gonna work.
No.
Maybe after like 2 hours. But yeah.
Jeez. Man, Baltimore's kind of crazy. I don't think it's quite as bad. Hang on. We have this from 7 to 11.
Yeah.
It might be a different room.
Which room are y'all in?
407.
Oh yeah, y'all definitely have it. Y'all
Yeah.
still have it right now because my reservation was 7:30 until.
I'm gonna pull it up just to be sure.
Well, I can send y'all a screenshot of my reservation. Oh wait, no.
Does that get emailed to your school account when you make a reservation?
Yeah.
Maybe it probably goes to the spam section.
Probably.
Actually, wait a minute.
We're in a room in the library and someone just walked in telling us they had reserved it when we have it reserved till 11.
No, I don't think it was this room today. That room today. Yeah, it wasn't for today. It wasn't.
Train. What was that?
Not another train.
Golly.
That's my new
I'm done with
train
trains today.
Snap this new train horn.
horn.
They're like one
Yeah.
of those little wooden ones.
I legitimately watched.
Yup.
I used to love those things, the little wooden train horns.
I definitely have one of those at home.
You always find them in like little gift stores and stuff. You always have to buy one.
I mean, I
That's a good
legitimately
one, too.
watched somebody come through freaking the barrier on a train track today.
Yeah, honestly, I can't blame anyone who did something stupid today because that traffic was a nightmare. I heard a story about somebody sitting in the same spot for 2.5 hours because they got blocked in by 2 trains.
Yeah. It was bad. I'm looking next thing. I don't see it. I mean,
But so yeah, we kind of got cut off by the people who wanted to say that this was their room. North Central Maryland says keep the members of the Baltimore PD in your prayers tonight because an officer has been shot and is in grave condition. So, I hope that nobody has a bad impression of Baltimore because it really is an awesome town. It's like home city, you know. But yeah, sometimes crazy stuff does happen there in certain neighborhoods. Greenville says I got noticed by someone today at school. What do you mean? Like somebody knew
Like, hey, I watch your
you had your
YouTube
channel?
Oh, I'm always scared that's going to happen to me.
Nobody knows what kind of car you have.
Yeah, I don't even know what he has.
Some
Now,
people
honestly,
have figured it out, though.
if I was in Napa and I heard your air horn, I'd probably be like, yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
I mean, if I was anywhere in the country,
I also have a big old dash cam in the back window, so anybody who sees that can pretty much go, oh, that's
Bro,
got to
you
be
come
him.
up with it?
that guy.
I honked at somebody once at that famous intersection, and when I went back and reviewed the footage, I'm like, oh my God, that's the guy that I'm always giving money to at the gas station. You know, when I go fill up with gas. It's so funny. And then I go in there, and ever since that incident, he looks at me funny. I swear he knows because I'm sure he's seen my rear dash cam
Wow.
and knows my videos. I don't know. I get this funny feeling.
I bet he's subscribed.
Well, it would be good if
I mean, now he kind of avoids me when I come in.
Maybe it's just because he's embarrassed. You know, I'm in the stream and I just got a notification that the stream is going on.
yeah, sometimes the notifications have such a bad delay.
Oh, I got a lazy puppy next to me.
What kind of dog do you have?
Golden Doodle.
Oh, that's what I have.
Hmm.
Is it one of the red ones?
Yes.
Yeah.
I have
Yeah,
a
that's right.
cat.
You didn't get to see him. USC got to see him because USC was with me.
Napa, I have 2 cats as well.
Oh, I love
I like cats better than dogs.
cats.
I'm watching funny cat videos on YouTube, but I'm a dog. He's just the best.
My cat is sleeping.
My dog will act like a cat. He'll even climb in my lap and make me pet him.
My cat will act like a dog and try and steal your food off your dinner plate.
Mine doesn't do that. It's amazing.
And
yeah.
Every cat I've ever had does, but not this one.
Human hates water. My dog hates water.
Well, apparently Maryland has a golden doodle that's red too. Female or boy?
Female. She's about 4 going on 5 years old sometime soon.
Oh, see, my puppy is a boy, and he's just over 7 months.
Yeah, that's nice and young.
Oh yeah, he's got energy.
I think they act like puppies for a long time. Like not like the super hyper energy ones, but they have the same fun personality.
Mm-hmm. Well, my dog prances. He's a natural show dog. And if you offer a treat, he'll do anything you want him to.
Oh yeah.
I'm just a spoiled boy.
Let's see, we got 10 people watching now. I see Wind Dashcam has showed up.
Mm-hmm.
He's
Hello,
from Philadelphia.
Oh, okay.
Is it Wind or Wind?
I would say wind.
I think it's
I'll say
Wind.
wind.
Wait, is that the wind? No, that's Chicago. Right?
Yeah, Chicago is Windy City.
Get my cities mixed up here. Dyson is 2 from NC, Maryland. Sammy's 11.
So
Dogs.
USC, I think I'm going to go to Greenville in my spring break
Why Greenville?
because it's close to home and it's cheaper.
Are you spending like The entire spring break there?
Like that's your
No,
spring
no, not the entire spring break.
trip? Because, you know, the coast is just as close.
No, not the entire spring break. Well, USC, think about why I would go there. We were talking about it the other day.
Oh, I remember now. Well, I'll be there for spring break too, so hit me up. And hit me and Bet Drivers of Greenville up.
Yeah, he'll be all.
On that.
I'm here.
Yeah.
Ooh, maybe I can get Silly String and get him again.
Oh man,
I don't know if Greenville's gonna like that one.
he's not gonna like that. No,
I know. I
we
sure
need to
wouldn't want
get.
that near
We
my
need to
car.
get. I hate when people stop outside this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Freaks me out.
Well,
Yes, Greenville's downtown is very nice.
it got decided the other day that me and my boyfriend are moving to Charlotte when school's over.
Oh, it's a good town.
Yeah, that's good.
Got a lot of stuff to do. Good jobs here.
They got IKEA. That pretty seals the deal, you know.
Oh yeah, I mean, it's,
Yeah, IKEA is just like the cherry on top of the whole situation.
It's really a requirement for me. Like the area I move to has to have an IKEA.
I might need a second beer. Almost done with my first one.
Do we have any bets on how many beers Napa's gonna have tonight?
Probably not too many. Yeah. I gotta be nice to my liver.
Yeah, that's important.
Yeah.
I
You
gotta
know?
Mom thinks my liver doesn't work
I
right.
have babies because I have like 3 sodas today already, which is terrible.
Yep, my liver or my kidneys.
Yeah.
We're talking about alcohol, so.
My Skittles and my beer.
Man, I go for some Skittles.
I do love Skittles. Like that's one of my favorite candies.
I like it.
I'm eating something else that I haven't eaten in 25 years since I was in middle school. Fruit roll-ups. In fact, I didn't even know fruit roll-ups were still around. I mean, I remember
You've
back
had
when I
it
was
open forever.
back when I was 13 years old in 1990. When was that? 1993, if I'm doing my math right. No, 1992. I used to bring fruit roll-ups to lunch every day.
I don't think any of us were thought about.
Huh?
I don't think any of us were thought about.
I would.
I know I wasn't.
So yeah. And then I get this bag of Halloween candy that wasn't given out to the kids. And I'm like, here, have some. This giant bag of candy. I'm like, fruit roll-ups? Oh my God, these things are still around? I thought these died a long time ago.
Yeah.
Hang on a second.
Yes.
Yeah.
Pretty sure.
It's pouring rain out there.
Do you have the thing?
Oh my God. You're there 312.
Oh my God.
Our sincere apologies.
Darn sure.
It was like 2 minutes to
Yeah. Our friend reserved the wrong room. We're sorry. Are we in it? If we can get this switched back over to the Wi-Fi, why would you pause it? That doesn't do anything.
Oh, I unmuted
Just
it.
mute
Okay.
yourselves.
Can y'all hear us again?
What did you do?
Why did you guys whisper?
No.
Just mute yourself.
Hello?
Hello?
And take it and carry it.
Are you whispering because you're in a library?
Okay.
Can you guys hear us?
Yeah,
Okay, so
Are you whispering
the
because
floor
you're in a
they're on is a quiet floor.
we gotta change rooms real quick. So
Can you guys hear us?
y'all continue.
What's happening?
The library has rooms that you reserve, and they went to the wrong room.
Oh no!
So now they're having to move.
Oh my
Yeah,
God!
we went to 407 because you freaking told us.
Yeah, you
407.
said 407.
No, I said it was
312.
312. No, I told y'all it was 312. I specifically said 407 is for tomorrow when we're all at the library on Thursday.
So hopefully the stream stays up while we move rooms.
Yes, it will.
I mean, the Wi-Fi at the library is great, but it's iffy sometimes.
Oh, I'm helping you cover your hair? Okay. We can do it Friday.
That is hysterical.
Thanks, SD Roadcam.
I'm important.
That thing for the zoo.
Oh, God.
The zoo, they're gonna go visit your friends?
The fellow gorillas?
Shut up.
Or the fellow monkeys? I think it's fellow monkeys.
It says
Oh,
baseball.
jeez, wait, if I unplug the Ethernet, are we gonna...
Oh, my God. You can still get into it later, even if it drops it. Until you press the end button, it's not going to end. It's still going to be in the background of your channel.
Okay, I'm gonna turn our volume down and mute me now, so y'all just continue the conversation.
We'll BRB later.
So we'll continue to conversate.
Yeah, I guess.
Wait, remind me once more. Who's the avatar with the blue person?
The blue person would be USC.
Oh, okay.
And then I'm the one with the book.
You're the book. And I see Marilyn there. And I see me.
Yep.
Did you have anybody else coming in?
No, we decided that 4 was enough because, as you can already tell, the way people talk over each other.
Yeah. That's why I like to keep mine at 5 or less.
Yeah, we decided 4 was our max.
Yeah.
And I know that Hampton wanted to join, but it just gets too crowded with people trying to talk to each other.
Yeah.
Yeah, sincere apologies. Friend reserved the room.
Hi, Taylor. Taylor Reynolds is in here. Well, in the sidebar.
Taylor, I
was-
still question you being the only good soul driver, considering you still are learning to drive.
Yeah.
But
Isn't that Bad Drivers of Arizona? Or
I guess he stopped doing dash camming because it doesn't say it anymore.
huh? Yeah, if he's the one I'm thinking of, I miss his videos.
I don't know. Which one are you thinking of?
I don't know.
What was the photo?
Which one am I thinking of? Not the one with the chicken head. That was Los Mappus.
Was it the one with the Nissan in the photo?
No. No, there's a different Arizona one. It was... I don't think it was just Bad Drivers of Arizona. It might have been like Stupid Drivers of Arizona or something.
That was him, yeah.
Yeah, we had.
Oh, that was him.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, he says he's been driving for a year and a half. That's still not enough adequate driving time.
Yep, that's it. Stupid Arizona drivers. Yeah, you're the one. You're the one I used to watch.
Yeah. The first room was so much.
How come you're not doing videos anymore, Taylor?
I think we're gonna have to talk quiet too.
I think I'm about to go down to doing one video a month. Oh, my neck just popped. That felt amazing. Okay, if y'all are in the room, then y'all should be okay.
I swear she's in front. So yeah. What the?
Dude, y'all have 312. It's not that hard. I sent y'all a screenshot of the email.
It's completely fine.
All right, next beer.
Yeah.
That's a bit frothy. White foam. Oh, hold on. I gotta go out to my car. I forgot my wallet out there.
Yeah, that's not a good thing.
All right, can you all hear us again?
Yeah, Napa had to go out to his vehicle.
Oh, there's some weird echo.
Echoing. Ooh, the nephew are home.
All right, can you hear us again?
Yep.
Okay, cool. Yeah, so we take some
Is that the 7-year-old? All right, give me like 4 seconds.
Yeah, well, we have to whisper North Central Maryland because SC Roadcam booked us a room on one of the quiet floors.
I told y'all
At
it's
least
because I couldn't get the room.
Yeah, then you should have told us it wasn't in 407. There was
I
no
did. I
mention
told y'all it wasn't in 407 when we discussed it.
no mention of 312.
I did, because I think I sent y'all a screenshot.
I might have stepped in some shit. It's okay. I wiped my shoes off real good on the doormat.
Oh,
I guess I have to clean the doormat now.
your brother's
Ellie.
sleepy. Yeah, Clemson jacket on? Oh, we got you the Clemson jacket.
It's a
Neighbor's dog poops on all over the lawn.
I'm so proud of you for finally switching from USC. All right, come on.
Yeah, we just had to switch rooms. Napa stepped in crap, and some SE's talking about Clemson for some reason.
My
first time I've
nephew
ever-
just got into the house.
It's the first time I've ever stepped in crap during a live stream. That's a good one.
Let's go to bed.
Oh my God,
Bruce, it would have been
Madison.
funnier in my narration voice.
My cute little boy.
Brody. Brody decided to walk too close. Yes.
Brody,
Where
bro!
is she just like walking around her house?
Woo!
All right, here, let's go to the chat section. We can get this back on track. So Taylor Reynolds asks, is almost 2 years of driving little?
Is it little?
So what you mean, like in a
Oh,
year or
I'm gonna
something?
give Kayla a picture of Santa on the 16th of November or December.
Well,
Yeah. How's your driving record, Taylor? I think your driving record would speak more volumes than the time you've been driving itself.
So, no, Napa, don't make an Instagram account. Do not make an Instagram account.
Instagram, about as useless as the extra R in tomorrow. I just had to.
I like Instagram because like I'm into photography and stuff, but yeah, don't make an Instagram for your YouTube channel because there was a whole bunch of stuff a couple months ago with people just acting childish on that, and I don't know. I don't really know why that started at all because like I just post pictures of cars that I see. Like I don't know why people were getting upset about things or like causing drama. So yeah, I mean I remember you say like you've run a business or you're a current business owner or something. So live your life. Like do what you need to do. Don't make an Instagram.
Well, I'll tell you what I do need to do. I'm going to use that line that I just said in my next video.
Please
About
do.
as useless as the extra R in tomorrow. Yeah,
Please do.
I think I will. I kind of confused people with the as useless as the G in lasagna because the G technically isn't useless, but I've heard people joke about it, about the G not needing to be there for years, so I couldn't resist that one. People are saying, Hey, you know nothing about Italian. If that G wasn't there, it would be lasagna. Because the G modifies the way the N is pronounced.
Oh, so it
Kind of like the tilde.
Brody, stop.
Yeah.
Don't make me put you outside.
They confuse people. So I should go with a joke that makes more sense. Because, I mean, who really needs 2 R's in tomorrow?
Not really.
No, don't need it.
Would it be tomorrow?
That's a
Or
Canadian
it would-
way of pronouncing tomorrow.
Yeah, it would still be tomorrow.
Tomorrow.
And Canadians would still say tomorrow.
Yeah, they would say tomorrow. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
Yeah, let USC tell you what he thinks, how he thinks I say sorry.
Oh, you almost rear-ended a lady in a Prius? Yeah, big loss for the Prius driver.
She cut you off and then brake checked you because she honked, or you honked. Yeah.
I honked
I mean,
at a
as long
lady
as you have it on
today,
Dashcam.
and she actually waved sorry. I was so impressed. That made my day.
I saw a newer Prius today, and I looked at the ass end of it, and I was like, it looks so sad.
A paranoid pansy Prius.
Oh.
Hey, what happened to USC?
I don't know. Did he decide to go home?
Wait, what are we talking about?
USC's not in the stream anymore.
He is. He's with Maryland, but his face isn't in it anymore.
Oh.
I'm
He
still
didn't
here.
even say goodbye. Oh, he's there.
Yeah, he's just talking through my computer because while we were transferring rooms, his Wi-Fi cut out.
Yeah, might as well.
We literally can't not talk above like a slight whisper because of this new room.
Yeah, I mean, can y'all hear us okay like this?
Yeah.
What? Yeah. It's a library. You have to whisper.
Yeah, this room is about like 10 times worse than the one we were in.
You have to talk in a 900 number voice.
Oh, is that right, Napa?
Yes, it is.
Oh my
Oh,
god.
wait. Let us go. What's going on?
It's so wet outside.
Moist.
It's very moist.
I hate your face. I hate the phone.
It's wet and drippy. Like a men's bathroom. It is. It's pouring out there. Before, I got all wet going out to the car before I stepped in dog shit to get my wallet. I mean, I could have made a whole video about that.
Oh my god.
About my 10-second journey out to my car.
What is that?
I soiled my doormat. There's like poop like squished into the little fingers that stick up out of the doormat. It's one of those rubber doormats that has rubber fingers on it. Like the little rubber bristles that you wipe your shoes on.
Mm.
And there's like poop just mushed into it. I said, to hell with it. I'm doing a live stream's more important than cleaning shit out of a doormat.
It's a lot more fun.
That's awesome.
So I said, yeah, to hell with the doormat, to hell with the shit. I'm getting back to the stream.
That's a good choice.
Yeah. Might be easier to clean if I let it dry.
You know, you should just put the doormat out in the pouring rain. It'll clean itself.
Yeah, that's true. Then if my wife steps in shit on her way in, she'll have nothing to wipe her shoes on and she won't know it's out there. Decisions.
I don't know if I've ever stepped in poop.
I have.
Oh, gosh.
No, definitely not.
I
dog.
step in poop every day, actually, because, you know, I have animals, I have livestock, so when I walk through their enclosure, I step in chicken poop every day.
Oh,
And I literally have to hose my boots off before I come
We
inside.
have chickens and goats in our house.
Yeah.
They're fun.
Oh, you're drinking wine.
Yep.
Mhm.
Red
Wait,
Moscato.
I see
What
where
kind of wine are you drinking, Roadcam?
Red Moscato.
A red Moscato. That sounds very romantic.
Eh.
Yeah.
The one.
Gonna have to
I'll
light a
regret it
candle.
tomorrow.
Tomorrow?
Oh my God, yes.
I don't know what he's talking about.
He's
Hey,
talking about the way I said tomorrow.
What are you referring to when you say Maryland? That would make $1,001 in 3 seconds.
$1,001,001. What can make $1,001 in 3 seconds? Oh, I know.
That would make $1,001,001. Oh wait, is he talking to North Central Maryland or me?
Probably, I don't know.
We're all still in here.
I don't know. Oh, we got 11. The number's growing
Slowly.
as the night grows.
Napa,
Nope.
did you tell your followers that you were here?
Oh, crap. I forgot to do that. I totally forgot. Oh, I've been so busy. I just forgot. I usually do. Anytime I'm a guest on somebody's stream, I usually post some announcement. And sometimes I forget to do it. I'm kind of forgetful.
That's okay.
That's why I forgot my wallet out in my car. Yeah, I can't even remember to bring my wallet back inside.
And that's supposed to stay in your pocket.
And I paid for it dearly.
I've left my dash cam in the car
Dog
a couple times, and it's overwritten some really good clips that I've captured, and I get really upset at that.
Oh yeah.
Probably should start saving the clips. Press the button.
No, I don't. I mean, I have it down to a schedule. Like, it's only happened 3 or 4 times, but like, yeah, I remember. Yeah, a couple weeks ago, it just happened. Like, a really bad cutoff. Honked for like 5 or 6 seconds. Tried to upload it 5 days later, 6 days later, after I'd forgotten for a day, and it was gone.
Ooh. That sucks.
I've always the file got corrupted. I've never like overwritten anything.
Boy, the more beer I drink, the more likely I'm going to have to do my own live stream in the bathroom. A yellow one.
This man over here. Yeah, the comments and like all the captions in your videos have been so funny recently.
Thank you.
So what was the Seinfeld music that you were listening to the other day? Was it just like the theme song, or were you playing a podcast of an episode or something?
Oh, no. It's just a collection of movie tunes, TV tunes.
Me and Nathan would never be in a group chat. We don't have enough people that we like.
Huh?
We really don't have enough people that we like for that, Mom.
Oh, was she talking to her mom? I was like, I'm not following.
No, my mom just said that me and my boyfriend are in the group chat, and there's a commercial where the iPhone X, where they're doing the facial stuff, and it's talking about your snuggle bug and all that, and then they realize they're in a group chat, and she said that was an email boyfriend. And I was like, we don't have enough people that we like to be in a group chat like that.
Hey, what if Halo shows up?
We've already decided he can join if he shows up. We're gonna break our 4 people rule.
Do you think he's going to show up?
He said he was busy, so probably not.
Oh, he was on your last one though.
Yeah, he randomly joined that one because he was like, since I'm not gonna be at the next one.
He just happened to be there.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he was really active that day. He was
Yeah,
commenting on
sometimes
videos.
Sometimes he shows up, and sometimes he doesn't.
He's a very mysterious man.
He's very mysterious. Oh yeah. Yeah.
We found out that he's apparently at USC and all that. So
He is?
apparently,
Currently?
Not undergrad. Not undergrad.
yeah, he's postgraduate. He said.
Oh, okay.
did that clip happen with that train shit?
Wow, it's really coming down out there.
Oh, here it is.
Yeah, you're lucky you're getting rain out there. We've barely had any this whole fall, and I mean South Carolina is a wet state.
Very wet. But yeah, it has. We've already had, I don't know, about 2 inches of rain, not including what we've had in the last 24 hours. So
Wow.
it's good. We need everything to green up around here. Get those fire burned areas to start growing some grass. Because what happens is when you have a fire that blows through, it burns all the vegetation, and then when it does rain, if nothing's holding the soil in place, you get these crazy mudslides,
Yeah.
erosion. So it's been kind of pissy out there. I mean, we've ended up with 2 inches, but it's been kind of a pissy type of rain, just pissing a little bit, and just enough that it germinates all the little seeds hanging out in the soil, and then they germinate into little blades of grass, and then you get a root system going. So it's been like just wet enough that we're getting grass starting to grow without getting those crazy mudslides.
I don't care.
What is the most embarrassing thing you have ever worn?
Most embarrassing thing we've ever worn.
Oh, what did
God, I couldn't tell you.
Hey, probably like a Halloween costume.
Yeah, I was going to say, does this include Halloween or not?
I don't put myself in embarrassing.
I'm gonna say yes.
Well, I don't know. The most embarrassing thing I've ever worn. Oh,
He said anything.
I mean, there have been some things I've now looking back have been embarrassed about wearing. Like back in the '90s, we wore these crazy like, what do you call those pants? They're like elastic.
Yeah.
They're just like these kind of baggy, elastic, sort of like sweatpants,
Parachute
but they're
pants?
really parachute pants. Yeah, we used to wear parachute pants, and my parents got me a pair of parachute pants with these like colorful triangles on it and these little squiggly, colorful lines. It was real popular back in the '80s. I mean '90s. And I used to wear that to school. I was
My
such a
mom
dork.
talks
I
about
was a
those.
real dork.
Because my mom was a early 20s when that happened.
When what happened? When the '90s happened?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
She was, let's see, she was 17 for my sister, and then I was born like 5 years later, so she was 24.
So you were born when?
96.
What year? Oh, '96. Okay. All right. So those parachute pants, I guess were a little bit before your time.
Yep.
It still kind of lingered into the like '96, '97, and then anybody who wore parachute pants after that pretty much got beat up. So yeah.
I've seen a couple family photos with me in them as a young child. And
Yeah.
he
When
dressed
were you
like-
born? When were you born?
I was born
If
in
you
the
don't
90s.
mind saying.
I'm
Huh?
not going to say what year, but the 90s.
Okay, you were born in the '90s.
See, I admit that I'm 21 and able to drink. That's all that matters.
But yet, I think I'm going to say the most embarrassing thing my parents dressed me up in. I see this family photo all the time where they put me in this like sailor suit as a legitimate outfit for like a photo shoot. And I mean, I'm pretty sure I was about 2 or 2.5 when they did it, so I don't remember it. But every time I see that picture, it's mortifying. Like, why did they think that was a fun thing to do?
Why do I picture the village people singing in the Navy? I was born, I can't be too specific, but I was born somewhere between 1975 and 1979.
Wow, you're younger than my mother.
Yeah, I guess so. But I don't really feel that old. I still.
My nephews make me feel old.
Uh,
'Cause when they
I
were
don't let
born, I was
anybody
high
make me
school.
feel old because I'm too physically active to not be or to feel old.
That's good.
Yep.
You live in a good area for that too.
I go for mad crazy hikes.
I would like to do that.
We have a lot of vertical terrain for that, a lot of hills and stuff. A lot of good opportunities for really strenuous, good exercise.
There are a
So,
couple big hills on the USC campus that keep me in shape, but other than that, there's not good
it's
hiking
kind of flat.
around the Midlands.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
We have
gotta
to
have my
drive
mountains. I gotta have my mountains and my hills.
Good hiking up New Greenville.
Yeah, we have to drive like an hour and a half at least for any halfway decent hike.
Oh my gosh.
See, I'm an ocean person.
I'm a mountain person. I like the ocean. It's very relaxing, but I feel most at home in the mountains. In
See,
fact, I kind of wish I lived like up in the Sierra Nevadas near Lake Tahoe, or maybe the mountains of Colorado, or even Oregon, Washington, or even Alaska. I'd be happy.
let's see. My boyfriend's in Colorado. Mom's like, you'll love Colorado because I actually do like mountains too. But
Yeah.
the ocean calls to me a little bit more than the mountains do.
Yeah. Oh boy, have you ever been out to California? Checked out our beaches and coastline?
Actually, that is in the works. It's my grandmother actually was like, well, we can go and take a cross country trip because she's got friends out there, and then.
Yeah.
But I'm planning on coming out that way in 2019.
Got a lot of cliffs. I'm sure you've seen pictures. A lot of rocks and a lot of scenic beaches.
Yeah, I'm in.
A lot of it is state park land, and it's good because being state park, it can never be turned into housing. They can't bulldoze the area.
Well, see, my mom was telling me about the
Which of it is
acres
protected
here
land.
and how much they're starting to go for, and I was like, oh my god.
Yeah, it's all protected land. Yep.
You gonna be at 10 o'clock?
Yeah, what's up? You want me to come wake you or Jody up?
But I don't know. I just kind of want out of California. Yeah, maybe I can make that happen someday.
I'd love to visit California. I don't think I could live there though.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Good place
like
to earn a living, but to retire there would be extremely difficult.
You're already talking about retirement.
Oh, I'm ready.
God, I can't even think about that yet. But
I'm telling you guys, I can't wait to put the other dash cam on my mom's vehicle. You're gonna laugh at her.
Well, if you think you know where to get ready, then yeah.
I love how Lucas put the dash cam in his mom's car because she's really funny and she has a thick accent too.
Yeah.
I need to get into dash cams.
Anyway.
Yeah, Diane.
I just do
Okay, what's up?
What's happening? What you doing?
Okay, so wake you up at 10. I wake him up 10. I'm gonna say I've got to jump out of the room right after I wake you.
I don't know. Well, I'm gonna go back to the retirement topic.
Oh, y'all are listening to me talk for a
Retirement.
while.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I'm not entirely sure what I want to do because Maryland is really expensive as well.
We
Yeah.
gotta put the coconut oil back on your back.
At least for where I start my career, I've narrowed it down to a couple places. I definitely want to be near the coast, so I think I'm gonna move to either
Don't
back
do
to
Florida.
Baltimore because Baltimore is kind of cheap, or I could go to Charleston, Savannah, New Orleans or Houston.
I'm
I
glad you
think
didn't say
Florida's-
Florida.
Oh no, yeah, no way.
That's where every old person retires, is Florida or Arizona.
Yeah, my dad's parents retired to Florida, and I mean, I'm glad we went down there to visit, but I feel like that's just where you go to like die. That's where you go to die,
Yeah,
and it's kind of sad to me.
yeah.
Yeah,
See,
I like a town with good culture, a lot of activities to do, and like a young population, and good jobs, obviously.
yeah,
So hopefully I can raise a family in one of those places, and maybe retire to Maryland if I'm successful enough, or Delaware. Not
yeah,
many taxes there. That's kind of nice.
yeah, yeah.
But yeah, I definitely hate the cold, so I'm staying south.
Yeah, I don't
I
like
don't
cold.
mind. I don't mind the cold. Because you can always put on more layers and you can build hotter fires. I could see myself, you know, living and dying in the Pacific Northwest. I love the rain. I'm not one of those people that, you know, loves the sun too much.
Well, then Washington State is great for you.
Yep, I think so. The mountains, a lot of outdoor activities,
A lot of rain.
a lot of rain, not too crowded, not very crowded at all, and fairly cheap to live. Yeah. Of course, that's probably where my Dashcam channel dies because, you know, I won't be catching anything out there.
You do like a once a month comp and like a bunch of time lapses.
Probably be more like a once a year comp.
Well,
But that's not going to be for years. But hey, but by then we'll probably have self-driving cars and we'll have nothing to Dashcam about.
this whole dash camming thing is going to be obsolete in like 20 years.
I really
Oh,
hope
that
it
makes me
doesn't come up.
sad.
Because like I like driving. One of the great
Same
pleasures
here.
of my life is like getting behind the wheel. And
Yeah.
I totally support giving people the option to have a car drive themselves, but I don't think it should be forced on anyone.
Forced or yeah, definitely not. I don't think I will ever get one. If I have my way, I'll never get a self-driving car.
I agree with that.
I like to drive. I like to be in control of my, you know, the vehicle I'm riding in. Yeah, there's something relaxing about country drives.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
I love them.
Driving's my favorite thing to do.
I wish I had more money so I could put more gas in my car so I could drive more.
You already drive a lot, though.
I know I do, but it's not for pleasure. It's more
Miles
mostly
on
for
your car in
business.
like 2 days and I do in a month.
Yeah, that's true. I drive a lot, which is why so many idiots are attracted to me. Maryland, USC, did y'all get to watch that clip I sent y'all?
When?
What are you talking about?
It's in your text messages.
Oh, my phone in like 30 minutes.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, it's my phone.
He doesn't even know where he's at.
Yeah, I think even when the technology becomes fully capable of having self-driving cars, I don't think they're gonna go mainstream. I don't think they're gonna go mainstream so easily. There's gonna be a ton of people like us that aren't gonna want to give up control of our cars. We're gonna want to drive. A lot of us enjoy driving. So I think that even when the potential is there to eliminate non-self-driving cars, I don't think that's gonna happen. I mean, aside from the insane costs of when the technology becomes more widely available.
Yeah, that's
That's
true.
gonna be the
Not
first
many
hurdle.
people will be able to afford that.
Yeah, prices will come down. Technology does tend to decrease in value as it's been around longer, but I don't think people are going to want to give up their cars.
Yeah, I hope most of America agrees with us.
Yeah, same here.
You gotta watch it with some of these.
I must say, I really like how Northern California Dashcam has changed to Tesla
Yeah.
and keeps posting the autopilot videos, which those are really interesting.
Yeah. Yeah, I think he's doing autopilot fails,
Yeah.
showing how flawed the technology is.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah, I think in order for stuff like that to be able to function with everyone, I mean, all of the roads across the country are going to have a standardized design where, you know, he keeps having the problem where the car tries to exit.
Right.
Every single exit ramp across the entire country is going to have like dashed lines or something painted across, so that way the car doesn't think it has to swerve away.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, there's going to have to be a whole bunch of stuff like that just for it
The
to
entire
work.
infrastructure is going to have to be revamped and
Exactly.
everywhere. And
I don't.
that'll take massive tax dollars to pay for.
Yeah, I don't know how willing the government's going to be to pay for that.
They'd have to raise gas taxes. They'd have to create new like sales tax hikes to pay for all this. It's I just don't think it's going to happen as soon as they say it's going to happen. And the technology itself, being as flawed as it is right now, being able to recognize, you know, it's going to obviously be harder at first when you have a mix of self-driving cars and non-self-driving cars, because a computer can't readily recognize the expression or another driver's face, because we rely on eye contact a lot when we're driving. We rely on hand signals from other drivers, like if they stop to let you out, or to make sure that another driver sees you, they look your direction. So the eye contact tells you, okay, that driver sees me, I can probably proceed safely past that driver waiting to pull out. And self-driving technology can't do any of those things.
I mean, yeah, I've listened to a lecture on autonomous cars before, and they said that there's no way for an AI, for an autonomous car, to learn what to do in every single possible situation you can think of. Not like a human brain can.
Right, that's right.
I was watching like a PBS NewsHour thing or something a few weeks ago with my dad, and it was talking about, you know, if there's a pedestrian or a jaywalker, you know, cutting across 3 lanes, and there's a car next to you, how is the car going to decide between hitting the pedestrian and hitting the other car if it doesn't have another option?
Right.
You know, you always need that human variable in extreme situations like that.
Yeah, needs human input
And then
and output.
at that point, you know, if it either hits a pedestrian or the car, who's going to be at fault? The driver? The car manufacturer?
Yeah, a lot of liability issues.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it may never happen. The entire self-driving car thing could end up being a massive failure. It could.
Yeah, I mean, I hope they can make good, safe technology, but not take it too far so that it limits what we can do.
It's so funny because back in, okay, let's see, looking back on my childhood here, I think it was in the 90s, even the late 80s, I remember the media saying, oh yes, we're going to have flying cars by the year 2000. They were so sure that we were going to have flying cars by the year 2000. Year 2000 came along, where are the flying cars? Everybody said we were going to have flying cars by the year 2000. Well, what the Dashcam channels have proven is drivers aren't even competent enough to operate in 2 dimensions. So what makes anybody think that a driver can be competent operating a car in 3 dimensions?
It's not possible.
Not possible.
And then when you crash 20 feet up in the air, what happens? You just fall straight down and nosedive into the asphalt or something, or nosedive into a house.
Probably, yeah. You don't have any wings to glide through the air to a somewhat safe landing. Yeah. And people who do operate vehicles in 3 dimensions, aka airplanes, they have the most rigorous training and testing imaginable, and highly regulated, much more regulated than getting a driver's license. And I always say that if drivers had to get the same kind of training that pilots do, well, we wouldn't be dash camming. We'd have nothing to do. Everybody would be near perfect drivers if we had that kind of strict training and testing.
I feel like we almost need it though.
Yeah, we do need it, or at least something more than what we have now. Because in California, I don't know what the requirements are in your state, but we don't actually require that drivers attend driver's ed. As long as they pass the test and pass the driving exam, that's all that matters to the DMV. They'll issue a license. You don't even have to attend driver's ed. So if your grandpa teaches you how to drive, and then you read up in the driver's handbook, you're good to go.
Well,
Yeah, according
we
to
don't
the state.
require you to take driver's ed, but they give
Nope.
you like
It's purely optional.
bonuses for
Nope.
taking it.
Nope, it's purely optional.
Yes, we actually get incentives to go. Like your insurance is lowered, and
I know here is if you want your license and you're under a certain age, you have to take driver's ed.
yeah. But
if you're
once you
If
hit
you're over a
17,
certain
I
age,
think.
I don't think you have to.
Right.
So I mean, it's weird.
In order to get my license in Maryland, well, first I got my permit. You only have to take an online test for that, and you have to get like 23 out of 25 questions right. So you get your permit, then you do like this driving log to make sure you've driven in all sorts of conditions, and you turn that into your driver's ed. Or no. You turn that into the DMV once you're finished, but you have to take a driver's ed course. Mine was like a week long, and we had to pass a test every day and a big exam at the end. And then once we did that, we could go and take our actual road test at the DMV with our driving log completed.
Wow, that's far more than we have to do here.
A lot more than South Carolina is. Because when I got mine, when I was going through the process, you take the permit test at the DMV. It's same things like 25 questions. You got to get like X number right.
You know what? I think it shows a difference, because I seriously think that people in Maryland are much smarter on the road than they are in South Carolina. Now, of course, I can still make great videos because people there drive like douchebags since it's outside of two metropolis cities. But they're not that stupid. They're just aggressive. Whereas in South Carolina, like, people literally don't know the dimensions of their car or what they're doing, or like, oh my God, that's a pedestrian. I don't have to, like, I have to swerve around them,
Yeah, you would think that California, being the strictest state in the nation, would have more stringent requirements for licensing, but we're in that area, we are the complete opposite. We don't live up to the the what do people call it? California, jokingly.
That's funny.
Like communist, But my wife didn't attend driver's ed. Her grandpa just, taught her how to drive, and she studied the manual a little bit and passed the test and was issued a license. Now, fortunately, she's not like every other driver out there. She's actually a very good driver, surprisingly, given the fact that she didn't really do anything outside of her grandpa teaching her and then studying the handbook. She's been driving actually a little longer than I have, so about 23 years, and she's never had a ticket or an accident. So that's great.
Yeah. That is really impressive.
That's pretty good.
I, on the other hand, did go to driver's ed. In fact, I did. Well, I didn't have to, but my parents wanted me to, and that was very smart of them to make me do it. So I did that for my regular licensing, and then when I got my commercial license, I had to go through a whole bunch of more training. for that. So,
It's like,
and I also have never had a ticket or an accident.
It's
Yeah.
really impressive.
That's impressive, yeah.
Never. I've been driving 21 years, and knock on wood. Oh yeah, I have some wood here. Here we go. There we go. The desk. That's the wood I was referring to. Oh, and I've got my train whistle too. That's the other wood over here.
Yeah, you're lucky you didn't get into an accident as a kid or anything. 'Cause
Yeah,
our-
kids. Yeah, because we drove fairly aggressively when we were teenagers.
I don't
Yeah,
have any wrecks on my record.
I used to be a lot more impatient, and it's partially why I caused my sole accident. So somebody stopped at a green light in the left lane. This was years before I started posting stuff on YouTube or even owned a dash camera, but somebody stopped at a green light in the left lane, and I was following a little bit too close, and I didn't rear end them, but I
Yeah.
swerved around them and hit someone in my blind spot. But I mean, if I had
that
just
sucks.
left some more room,
Yeah.
because they were going slow in the first place, and if I had known just to leave some more room, then it would have been fine. But like,
Well, the average driver in the United States gets in one accident every 7 years. That's the average. So that's if you are not the best driver in the world, but not the worst driver in the world either. You're just an average driver. Then statistically you'll get in one accident every 7 years, which may or may not be your fault.
See, well, I correct myself. I've had one accident, but that was because some idiot in a jacked up truck backed into my Hyundai that I had, and I was parked.
Yeah. Well,
one of my friends who goes to Clemson, she's one of my good friends from high school. She's already been in 5 accidents, and like,
Oh my God.
she's a terrible driver. And I actually, Bad Drivers at Greenville caught her on Dashcam running a red light and put in this compilation. And I think this is about a year ago, but I commented on, like, I know that's my friend. That's a Maryland plate Jeep Wrangler with a winch on the front. Like,
wow. What a small world.
yeah.
But that's crazy. Now I do take it back a little bit. I was in a very minor fender bender, but it didn't bend either of our fenders. What happened was I stopped for a red light like I was supposed to, and the lady behind me wasn't paying attention, and she couldn't quite stop in time, and she ran into the back of me and pushed me forward maybe a couple feet. I had my foot on the brake, so she pushed me forward a couple feet, and neither of us were injured, and I had, barely but a scuff mark on my back bumper. And she, didn't say anything. She just sat in her car, hands on the steering wheel with the death grip, staring straight ahead. Ignored me when I got out to check for damage, which there really wasn't any. It's like, whatever, bitch. Just gonna not ask me if I'm okay. Just whatever.
Now, Napa, I should have did a reaction video to your last video because the I don't give a fuck that was going on was amazing.
The what?
Your comments, they were a lot more bold this time around.
Oh yeah. You should do one.
That would be it.
You should totally do one. I get a lot of entertainment out of. Well, I got a lot of entertainment out of that reaction video. I'd love to see another.
I'll have to work on it then.
That'd be so funny.
What are y'all talking about over there? So I like how we had like a topic planned out and it still hasn't happened.
Oh yeah, we came up with like discussion questions for like political topics,
Oh God.
or like social things. It's not like Trump stuff. Don't worry.
Do I have enough wine for this? I think I do. Let's do this.
Yeah, do I have enough beer for this? I normally hate politics, but I guess we'll give it a whirl.
It's not necessarily politics. It's just like social issues or
I think we want to be open for
current events.
Okay. I guess we'll see where it goes.
So we're just curious, like what everyone thinks. Should college be free? Should the government pay for college, or should everyone get scholarships or financial aid, or just totally free all around, like Bernie was proposing?
USC needs to comment this one first.
Who, me?
Yep.
Personally, my view is that college should not be free. At least, because for me, when I think of something like this, I'm with whatever makes sense, and free college just doesn't make sense to me because who's gonna pay for all this? I mean, college isn't cheap as it is. So if the government pays for it, that's gonna be a lot of extra money that the government's having to put into something that it really shouldn't be involved in the first place. Which would in turn mean taxes going up a lot to help cover the cost.
Well, I mean, have you looked at how much they hike your prices up so they make more money?
Well, yeah, they do that, but
So technically,
I mean, saying
if
you
you
want the
looked at
government
that,
to pay something because you don't want to, that's kind of stupid.
well, but I mean, if you go and look at that, then obviously the prices that you're going to pay now wouldn't be the prices they're going to pay, because they wouldn't be hiking the prices up to make more profit. They wouldn't be able to.
If they, they can still hike it up.
Not if they put a cap on it, which I honestly think they should do because of how expensive it's getting now.
I would support that first, would be to put caps on how much they can charge.
That's true.
Have laws that limit how much education institutes can charge.
To be
'Cause
honest,
I
I
think
think they should
that's
be
the
able to
first one.
cap a lot of things. Education being one of them, and other things being like how much we pay in housing or in food, because they just keep hiking it up on us and our pay isn't going up, and it's just ruining the market.
Yeah, we'll see. It's kind of ridiculous how much you have to pay in and stuff. But I don't know. I just think that there's more important things for the government to be doing than paying for college.
Well, to be honest, if they'd stop paying for our military as much as they do, we wouldn't have to stress as much.
Yeah, Greenville says that colleges are only here for profit, not for benefit. And I mean, yeah,
Technically true. It's
they're
technically
all-
a business.
they're all businesses. It's totally true. They're all businesses. Now, I mean, you can take it your own way. Like, I'm very glad I'm going to college because I know that the field that I'm going into, I will be able to get a better job with a higher pay immediately, since I will have a 4-year degree.
Well, I mean, I have a 2-year degree, and you see how hard it is for me to still get a job.
I mean, you'd still get a job. You should get a job no matter what kind of degree you have, or if you graduate from high school or not. But
Yeah, see, I don't. It's kind of hard for me to
And
tell.
we're a capitalist society.
Oh, he's responding. Never mind. See, the thing is, Twisty, is that look at how much they pay in building new things like ships and airplanes. We're putting billions, even millions and billions of dollars into stuff like that, when we could be putting it towards educating our own people. We lower our education cost and how much we spend on education and put more and more into building an army. To be honest, I think we should be doing the opposite. Yeah, they're not going to cut it, but that's what they should do. Because the more you educate people, the more likely you are to have people that are educated enough to be able to make new things and have new things come out.
It's a really tricky balance because you have to make sure that the cuts you make aren't going too far, and then make sure you're funding other programs what you should be funding them. So it's all about proportion, and that's the hard part. That's why it's such a heated debate about military spending. And then we have the threat of North Korea.
Well, to be honest, it's already been proven that if places like China and Russia would stop protecting them,
Yeah, that's a big part of the problem, of course.
if they stopped doing that, we would not be having the Korea issue. We would have been able to handle that a while ago.
Now, Russia, I kind of understand supporting them because Putin's just wacky, but China, I don't really see what they benefit from.
It's because it's an East Asian civilization. It's one of those civilizations, they've all been tied together for so many years.
I guess, but every other East Asian civilization is, just ousted them for being crazy.
Yeah. Well, they've got economic ties, mutual economic ties, and so that's why China's so reluctant to cut them off, because they benefit from, in a big way, from that, and their economy is booming. So but yeah, like she said, we should have cut them, or they should have cut North Korea off a long time ago. Everybody should have. And then we wouldn't be dealing with this situation.
It's kind of like the Hitler situation where they could have cut him off before they did.
So now we're faced with a potential strike against us. And now we have to deal with it somehow. And I don't think, obviously, going in bombs blazing is not the way to go. We have to somehow dismantle the regime from the inside out.
Yeah, if we go in bombs blazing, it's just going to cause another world war, and this time it's not going to be pretty.
I mean, I think if we go in bombs blazing, then North Korea is not going to have a chance at anything, but that does mean that South Korea will probably be destroyed, because I'm sure they have all of their stuff pointed right at Seoul and all the other.
Oh, there'd be massive collateral damage if we went in bombs blazing. I mean, they would, before we'd have a chance to take out all of North Korea, they would launch a counterstrike at both South Korea and probably us at the same time, which would wreak massive devastation on the United States. But so there's...
And then on top of that, with China deciding they're not going to cut their ties, we'd have China going at us, and then that's why I say it would cause another war.
Yeah.
Because each country would start jumping in, and then it'd just be a huge world war, and
yeah.
This time it wouldn't be, they're shooting each other with guns. No, this is going to be a nuke war.
Yeah. And we have to make sure our defenses are up and that we're capable of thwarting an attack. So obviously a substantial amount of military spending is necessary. But the big question, of course, the big debate is, well, how much do we really need to be spending? That's where the debate is, on how much do we need to spend. And I mean, I do think, just based on what I know, that we could probably afford to reduce military spending. But then again, I'm no expert, so I'm just an armchair quarterback.
Need the problem so that way we wouldn't have to spend anything at all if we could just, fix whatever is wrong in all the places around the world. But
yeah, and that's been part of the problem, is that the United States is trying to fix the world's problems, and at some point we have to start taking care of ourselves. It might seem selfish, but we can't save the world.
Well, that's one of the things that irritated me about us being hit on about not helping out with Haiti and whatnot, is we had just been hit with 2 hurricanes. We needed to pick up our own pieces before we picked up another one. And then also we had the fires going on. And then I think there was an earthquake that was near us too. So I mean, we had our own shit to deal with, and we had to take a step back and take care of our own. But we kept getting hit with, "Why aren't you helping Haiti?" Well, we do have our own issues to handle.
That's right.
We step in
We-
so much that people start expecting it.
People forget that we have quite a lot of poverty right here at home. And there are some villages that aren't even on the map that because they're so poor. And so we obviously have massive problems here that need to be taken care of that aren't. And we're always meddling in, other worldly issues. And sometimes countries won't ever get their shit together if they're not forced to. So if somebody always comes in to save the day, then they're not ever going to get their crap together. They're not ever going to learn how to get themselves out of the hole that they're in.
I don't think California would be screwed. To be honest, I think that
Yeah, I'm not sure if
I think it'd be more of an East
launched
Coast.
this. I don't know if they would reach us because I think we would have, like an Israeli air defense system. Not exactly the same, but we could catch a nuke while it's still over the Pacific and knock it down before it gets here.
Well, the only problem with that is the system is not 100%. I forget what the exact probability is of actually being able to successfully intercept a tipped missile. And it's about 50-50. So you have about a 50% chance. And then the other problem is if they launch something, the defense experts pretty much agree that it's not just going to be one nuke they launch. They're going to launch a bunch of them, which means that given that the air defense system is not 100% reliable, at least one will get through.
Yeah, that's a good point.
That's the thing. And their system also has I don't know if it's true, but there's rumor that their strike system has some sort of scrambler technology that can confuse the intercepting missile. So that's another unfortunate variable, potential variable at play.
That is legitimately frightening.
It is legitimately frightening.
Yeah, but America isn't as strong as it once was.
No.
We are highly weakened. I mean, technically right now, China owns us.
That's right. That's a lot of us, yeah. A good portion of us. Yep.
So
we've got a lot of Chinese developers actually just in our area looking to build condos, and lots of them too.
Well, I mean, by our cars, Japan owns us by our cars because a lot of our cars come from there. Mm-hmm. And then our products that we buy on a day-to-day basis comes from China.
Yep.
So, I mean, America is that's one of the things I do agree with Trump on is bringing things back home, is because then we stop being owned by these other countries.
I totally agree there. It'll, doing that may raise the prices a little bit. However, it'll stimulate our economy in a big way by producing more here at home.
Money.
More jobs. Yeah, absolutely. But it's hard because of all the corporate greed. Always wanting to produce cheaper. They get a fatter bottom line, so let's outsource everything. So that's getting past the corporate greed is an enormous hurdle to that, to producing more here domestically. But I'd love to see it.
I like how they're bringing all these European brands to production in South Carolina, because we have the huge BMW plant in the upstate, and now there's a Volvo plant near Charleston, and they're about to build a Mercedes plant near Charleston too.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh.
So I don't know if we manufacture any American cars or Japanese cars here, but European.
You mean in your state? When you say here, you mean your state or United States?
South Carolina, because that's where I am now. Yeah, Maryland
don't have Toyota
manufacturing.
Yeah.
We have the Port of Baltimore in Maryland, and that's like our only stuff that we do with cars because so many get shipped in
Yeah.
there. We see the big auto freight liners going by on the bay all the
Yeah.
time.
We
But
we have or we had a Toyota plant in Hayward, which is right next to Oakland, here in the Bay Area. Yeah, that's
yeah, I'd imagine you get a lot of cars coming in through Oakland and a lot of cars coming in through Long Beach.
yeah.
I don't know how big San Diego's port is, but yeah, I mean,
don't
other than
know.
that, I've heard of no manmanufacturing. I think it would be
Not
hard
much.
to do manufacturing in California
Yeah.
because of all
Well,
that.
it's like half of Toyota. I believe if the statistics I remember are correct, I think half of Toyota vehicles that are sold in the United States, half of them come from the United States. The other half were manufactured in Canada.
Huh.
Yeah, a family member of mine has a Toyota, and the little stamp on it says manufactured in Canada, one of the Canadian plants. Can't remember where, though, in Canada it was manufactured, but
Somewhere in Ontario.
one of the biggest, yeah, Ontario, that's what it is, Ontario. I think that's one of the biggest Toyota plants.
Yeah, one of my good friends here at USC originally grew up outside of Detroit, so he's a big car guy, big on American cars, but he's told me a lot about how they have so many manufacturing plants between like Windsor, Ontario, and Hamilton, all the way up towards Toronto.
Yeah,
Stretch between Detroit and Toronto is a huge auto manufacturing center.
yeah.
Yeah, but we have to watch it because they can start this building all this, and they can stretch it out past 4 years and say we vote on another president and they don't force them to do this. It could screw everything back up again.
Well,
But that is like the one thing I give Trump.
yeah, big props.
Other than that, it's
Yeah. There's always going to be things we agree with and disagree with whoever the president is at the time.
yeah. I mean, you can't agree with everything. You can't make everybody
No.
happy. There's just no
No.
possible way.
No.
It's unfortunate that not many people understand that nowadays. Like,
Right.
they don't understand the concept of compromise and
No.
No, they want it their way or no way at all.
Because they were raised as selfish children, so they can't understand that there might be another way that we can work together and figure things out. But instead, they think that everything's black and white, that they don't see the underlying challenges to doing certain things.
See, okay. Sorry, I've got to switch over this. Greenville said something about the election. Okay. The issue I have with that is that Hillary won the popular vote, but the issue with the popular vote is you don't get everybody that showed up to the election. So it's more of a who actually said, "Oh, I'm voting for this person or this person." So that's my issue with the popular vote. It kind of tells you which way it's leaning, but it doesn't tell you the whole thing. It doesn't give you the whole picture.
Mm-hmm.
That's one of the things that irritates me about that whole thing is because yes, you won the popular vote, but you don't get that whole picture, and then you're expecting something, and this whole picture gets shattered, and you're like, oh.
Yeah.
But Marilyn, would you like to move on to the next one?
yeah, we can move on so that way we don't get too stagnant on election things. Really, we don't need to talk too much about that. So the next question was the national anthem protests. I don't know how well you guys keep up with the NFL or professional.
Not too much. Not too much. I've heard a little bit of it.
Yeah,
I'm curious to know your position on this new one.
So at first, I was very against it. I mean, I'm not like the screw the people who are not standing up for the anthem kind of person, but like I consider myself to be fairly patriotic, and I didn't think it was fair for them to kneel down for the anthem at first. I didn't think that Kaepernick's way of protesting was very effective because it just kind of brought negative attention to him. And ultimately, I think that's why he was cut from the 49ers. I'm sure they couldn't legitimately say that, though. But yeah, now that Trump made a comment saying like those sons of bitches shouldn't have jobs or something like that, like that's
taking it too far. That's way too far.
Yeah, that was horribly inappropriate for anyone to say, let alone the president. And now, like, I honestly feel like people should kneel during the anthem just to protest him, like just to slap it in his face.
Well, see, my thing is that I don't think that they should kneel because the national, like being from a military family and just we're highly always into the patriotics and this, that, or another. I don't think you should kneel, but I can understand why he's kneeling.
I mean, I'm never going to kneel myself. Like, I'm always going to stand hand over my heart and sing the whole anthem and shout "Oh" because I'm from Baltimore.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm very much into the freedom of expression in our country. If somebody wants to do that, then go for it. Even if I don't agree with it,
But see, the thing is, Twisty, if you know the military, you know that when a fallen soldier ends up dying or whatever, his fellow soldiers ends up actually kneel during the national anthem. So, to be honest, a lot of people don't even know that. They don't realize that when another soldier dies, the rest of the soldiers in that battalion or wherever they're at actually kneel during the national anthem to give that soldier respect. So that's one of the things that a lot of people don't know, and they're getting offended by this, but they don't even know what they're getting offended by.
Right.
So Greenville says that Kaepernick was exercising his freedom of speech on an issue that people keep ignoring, and it was never about disrespecting the veterans or the flag. And I totally agree with that. Like, I mean, I know that he was not trying to disrespect anybody by doing it.
Right.
The issue people are having is how he went about it. That's the issue people are having.
I mean, I completely understand his intention, and I still don't think it was an effective way of getting his message out. But, like, I agree with his message. I just wish he did it in a different way. But I still don't think it was disrespecting the veterans or the flag.
Yeah. I don't know. Ultimately, I have to look at the Constitution and, see that we do have a freedom of speech, freedom of expression.
Okay, here's the thing about the police brutality. And because I'm in criminal justice, I study this all day long, especially with all that's been going on lately. Police have to make a decision in a 0.5 second setting. And sometimes that decision isn't the greatest, but it's something that is decided. And then other times you have this, usually a white male, that is a weakling and feels inferior, ends up being a police officer, and he's got that badge and gun, and now he's like, I can do this. I can do whatever I want. So that's the balance we're having to figure out and decide on, is that how do we weed these people out? Because they do have testing that's supposed to weed these people out, but sometimes that people just get through. And not everything's perfect. Things are flawed. So that's the biggest issue with that.
Yeah, I mean, unfortunately, people are always going to make poor decisions and make mistakes, and sometimes you just can't stop it. Some of those situations are completely unavoidable, but there's definitely a lot of them that were avoidable.
Yeah, like the Rodney King beating.
Yeah.
They had more than 0.5 seconds to say, oh, I'm going to stop swinging my baton at this guy. Take him in peacefully instead of let's just all stand here beating this guy over and over. You would think the country would have learned from that incident.
They would, you'd think. But, I mean, America has an issue with putting its blinders on.
Right. Exactly. That's why maybe in the moment it forced some change with the LAPD after that, but then you reopened all these wounds got reopened again then with the O.J. Simpson trial. And then from there, you know, and then more recently in our area, I don't know if you guys heard about the BART, Bay Area Rapid Transit shooting.
Mm-hmm.
The white cop who killed the black guy on the platform. And
One of my middle
from
school,
there, it just
one of my middle school teachers he was living in South LA in the Compton area for the Rodney King riots. And he's like a scrawny Jewish guy, so he was he was real worried about walking around the neighborhood sometimes because, you know, it was violent what was going on. He said whole blocks got burnt down and you know,
it was bad.
people were getting killed, but when he would tell the people in the neighborhood that he was teaching their kids, like, they would let him by and they would keep walking down the street with their AK-47s and stuff in hand and just go torch the next building.
Yeah, it was really bad.
was crazy.
The LAPD was fairly corrupt at that time, but then after the incident, they cleaned up their act quite a bit more so. But then there was this distrust, this extreme distrust, understandably, of the police at that time, and then with the double homicide, you know, the OJ trial became about, you know, race, white versus black, and in that case, I believe, you know, I've studied the case quite a bit. I think OJ was guilty, but
I think he was
it's like the
guilty,
wound.
but they made it to be more about race than anything else.
Exactly. It was.
It was one of those cases that you wish
That's what they
hadn't have made it about that.
They took the Rodney King incident, and, you know, that was the prime motivator for, you know, making the trial about race.
We'll see what
Especially the defense team, which then spilled over into, you know, the rest of the world.
See, what kills me is that, you know, they got all these protests now for like Black Lives Matter and whatnot.
Yeah.
I really wish that people that came out to break building windows and stuff
Right.
would just go home, because they could take a page out of Martin Luther King Jr.'s book and do a quiet protest.
Right.
Yeah, so many of those protests went so much better than what you see today. I mean, I remember all the Ferguson riots too, and
Yeah.
like I went to a march for that in DC, and that was so much more peaceful. Everybody was in a positive mood, holding up signs that were saying, you know, just positive comments, and so everything was supportive. But, you know, where the incident actually happened, like, why are they burning down their own resources?
Right. Doesn't make any sense.
Yeah,
It doesn't really
And
help
see-
their cause either.
And see, that's why that's actually one of the main reasons why the jury rendered a not guilty verdict for OJ, was because they were afraid if they rendered a guilty verdict, all these people are still, you know, upset, understandably, of course, after the Rodney King incident. Well, they knew that if they rendered a guilty verdict for OJ, that would incite all these riots all over again. So they decided they were going to render a not guilty verdict no matter what evidence was shown, no matter, you know, what they heard during the testimony. So it's like all the months of just wasted court time and resources. You know,
well, I mean, he ended up serving for a while later for something
Right.
else anyway. So
he did. That's justice for me. Well,
Yeah,
partial
like,
justice
just-
anyway.
you
I
count
would have liked to
common
see
points.
him get the chair. I would have liked to see him, you know,
Does
try for
California
what I
have the
believe
death
he did.
penalty?
Huh?
Does California have the death penalty?
I think it was suspended for a while. Honestly, I can't remember if it's back or not. I think it is. I don't know. That's a good question.
That would honestly.
I mean, I know that we did have the death penalty for a while. I remember a few executions that happened during my time, and then there was a period where they suspended
penalty?
capital punishment. And there were a bunch of people on death row that were, you know, that couldn't be executed because of whatever was going on. And they were, you know, more and more people ending up on death row, just this huge backlog. So I don't, you know, that, I don't know. I'll have to Google that.
Fun fact about California, under Ronald Reagan, I want to say it was, he messed up and fucked up their divorce laws.
Yeah.
He made it a lot easier for them to get divorced there.
Well, it says here that in 1972 it was declared, the death penalty was declared, oh, what are the words here? I don't know. It was in front of me a second ago. Declared unconstitutional. But I know that that changed at some point after 1972 because I remember a few high-profile defendants who were executed.
See, the issue with the death penalty, though, is that now that we have so much appeal process,
Right.
it's too expensive to do it. But on top of that, oh God, my brain just went kaput.
Mine's been doing that all day.
But
I
on
think
top of that, it's
the
been
death
proven.
penalty should be more readily available for crimes where there is like indisputable evidence. So like I think
Right.
any murder should be
See, the
able to be
issue.
punished with the death penalty if you are like if there is video evidence of somebody like shooting and killing someone, put them
Right.
to death.
See,
Like,
the issue
yeah.
with that is that
Watertown.
they had so many wrongful convictions of people that were getting
Again, and that's
killed.
why I'm emphasizing the indisputable evidence because, like, you know, if there is any chance of a doubt of somebody committing a crime,
Yeah.
But see, the issue with the death penalty is that it's people when they see the death penalty, it doesn't tell them, "Oh, let's not do this." It just tells them, "Oh, let's do this," and then just die afterwards.
Right.
It doesn't make them turn away from doing the act, and that's one of the issues with the death penalty is that people don't look at the death penalty and think, "Oh my God, I'm gonna die." They think, "Oh, whatever." They have such a adrenaline rush and like, "Oh, let's just do this in the moment." That a lot of people, they don't think about, "Oh, I'm gonna spend 20 years in prison," or "I'm gonna die for this," and that's one of the big issues with it.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, I couldn't think of a better way to deter somebody from committing a crime, but
But statistics have proven that it doesn't deter them at all.
stupid people are going to do stupid things no matter what, right?
So here it is. So in 1972, California Supreme Court declares the death penalty unconstitutional. But then in 1977, Governor Jerry Brown's vetoed and reinstated. Well, he vetoed the declaration of unconstitution of the death penalty being unconstitutional. Reinstated the death penalty, allowing for capital punishment in first-degree murders with 12 special circumstances. Then in 78, they added more circumstances. 1990, 5 more special circumstances that would criteria that would make eligible certain crimes to be punished with the death penalty. And then 1996, they added more special circumstances. So they just kept adding more and more, which explains why the number of executions went down. So it looks like, in 2012, there was a proposition on the ballot that would have repealed the death penalty and replaced it with life in prison, but the proposition failed. So it looks like we still do have the death penalty. It's just that there are so many special circumstances that it doesn't seem to happen.
We'll see a lot of states have started doing that where they have
Right.
so many special circumstances.
And there should be like
you have to have like after 2 convictions of killing someone or something,
right.
then you're opted for it. It's really weird.
Yeah.
Well, actually, SoCal, they are starting to step into that, where they're talking about how the brainwaves of serial killers and normal people are different and how they think and everything. They've actually started doing testing on that and finding out that the way brain works for a murderer is a lot different than an average person. Y'all are getting into my career field now, so I'm into this.
Yeah.
This is what I discuss all day, every day at school. Right.
See you later, Win Dashcam. Stay woke.
Yeah, I take it back a little. I take it back somewhat about OJ because the case was it was pretty much nothing but circumstantial evidence, so nobody actually saw him do it. So ultimately, it can't be proven that he did, but all the evidence points to it. So I think in that case, the death penalty would be unjust, simply because they can't reach. There's no way anybody could reach a 100% certainty that he did, even though we could be 99% sure that he did, because the LAPD at that time was less corrupt than it was, prior to the Rodney King incident, but they were very sloppy in their investigation. In fact, really sloppy. So I haven't seen any evidence that they planted any evidence, but they did a fairly sloppy job, which, adds a little bit more doubt to it, which the death penalty wouldn't really be fitting. But I would have liked to see him serve life in prison. But at least he served some time for what he did in Las Vegas, so a little bit of justice there. And he's free now, so who knows? He might get mobbed.
Who knows? Marilyn?
Oh, man.
Are you two going to come back to the live stream now and continue this conversation?
Wait, what? Oh, sorry. There's a guy going around in the library making sure we're USC students right now, but it's all good.
Show me your papers.
Basically, yep.
Is he checking your papers?
Yep. Checking our Carolina cards.
Carolina?
Yeah.
So,
South
how late is that
Carolina.
library open?
It's 24 hours for USC students.
Oh, really? Wow.
Yeah, this is a big school, so they have to be accommodating.
Yeah.
Huh.
If you're in the library past 9 without a USC ID, they kick you out.
Yeah, they patrol after 9 o'clock in the library, SoCal.
But other than that, it's 24 hours. It's pretty nice.
Nice.
I've been here it's like 2 free
So, do they have, do they require that you be studying if you're in the library, or is the live streaming okay with them?
No, it's fine as long as you have your ID.
Oh, okay. That's good.
Yep. It's basically you do almost whatever you want. And I say almost.
Yeah. You can't bring a keg in there and have a little party.
Well, I'm sure it's been done.
I was going to say, yeah, it's probably been done.
Oh, it has.
Yeah, not by me, but this is the SEC. People get pretty wild.
How's your glass of wine there, Roadcam?
It's empty.
Oh, well, you need to go fill it. What are you waiting for?
Actually, I can't have more than a glass because my kidneys don't process like they should.
Oh, okay. All right. So be nice to your kidneys then.
Yeah, I had like a third of a glass, so that'll last me.
Oh, okay. My second beer's empty. I may have to. I haven't had to live stream in the bathroom yet. Guess I'm doing pretty good there.
It is possible that there's a fire alarm going off.
Oh my god.
A fire alarm?
Some alarm is going
There's
off.
an alarm going off.
Give me a minute. I'm gonna go walk outside. USC is gonna stay.
Don't step in any dog shit.
Hey, don't set the dog shit. Yeah, I don't know what's going on right now, but people are kind of looking around.
Oh, I hear it. Sounds like a car
Yeah,
alarm.
I hear it.
One of those
Kinda-
aftermarket annoying aftermarket things that little
Yeah.
high pitched and sounds like a toy.
The flashing lights for the fire alarm aren't going off, so that's what I'm confused about.
Right.
Probably it's messing up.
Oh, someone opened the emergency exit.
Oh, dumbass.
It's just the emergency exit.
Oh yeah, we've had that happen at work before. Someone opened the emergency exit, and the alarm goes off until they find the key to shut it off.
Yep, they're the key that looks like it needs to be turned. So somebody must have opened the emergency exit door because people in South Carolina are stupid and can't read.
I keep telling you, you're spending too much time there, so.
Yeah, oh, they definitely can't hear us outside the door now. Oh yeah, it's very loud. It sounds like a fire engine is standing right next to you.
USC must be away from the computer.
Yeah.
Fire truck came down from Green Street.
So are there a lot of other people there at the library?
Oh, the library is huge. I mean, we have like 7 or 8 total levels, and each can
What?
hold probably 100-something people at a time.
Oh my God.
The thing is,
Sounds like it's so big that each room has its own zip code.
probably.
Yeah.
But what's cool is there's only 2 levels that are above ground. Everything else is below ground. So
Oh, really?
Yeah. Like levels, it's weird because level 1 is the very bottom level. And it goes like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And 1 through 5 is all below ground.
Oh, well, now you know where to go in case North Korea bombs us. Just
Oh,
go
yeah.
down there. You'll be safe from all the nuclear fallout.
Level 1 is the lowest point in Colombia.
Oh, wow.
But it's pretty cool.
Yeah. I'm sure this place can double as a fallout shelter.
Oh, absolutely.
So
The
you
building didn't implode on top of us.
Yeah.
you said that Halo is going to USC currently.
Yeah, he said it in the last live stream.
I'm not entirely sure.
I was going to ask if you think you might run into him. I mean, you recognize his voice. I mean, obviously you won't know what he looks like, but if you hear his voice.
I think I would recognize him if I heard his voice because last year I was walking in front of USC Dashcam and I recognized his voice. I was like, that really sounds like USC Dashcam, but we hadn't met yet, so I didn't say anything. And then it turns out, like, I remembered who he was when we officially met this year. I was like, wow, I totally remember that time when I was walking in front of you last year, and it was you.
Wow.
I wish you would have said something.
I think you were walking with someone else, so it would have been kind of weird.
Maybe, I don't know.
Yeah. But you just got to keep your ears open.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I keep telling them that I think I'm going to be the more likely of us to hear his voice because I feel like he's going to be in my department.
You know, there was a dash camera who thinks that they actually caught Halo on their rear camera.
That was me, and it turns out it wasn't him.
It was a red Versa, though. And it
was
had
a
a
Red Versa with the G1W.
Yeah.
But he commented, and he told me where he was at that time. So from then on, I've asked him every time I've seen a red Versa with a dash cam because I have seen that same guy about 4 or 5 times in Columbia, and each time it hasn't been Halo unless it's just
trying to throw you off a little bit. He could just be throwing you off.
Oh yeah, Marilyn. He did comment on that the last live stream. He said he's kind of annoyed by that.
Annoyed by being asked?
Yeah, he said that he gets asked so many times that he was like, especially by Maryland. he pointed him out.
I see this red Versa with a dash cam once every few months.
It's gotta be him, though. What are the chances?
There's 2 Versas in Columbia that I think that have dash cams.
I saw a month ago. One user, like Lucy Morton or something, commented on a video that she saw him on 26, and he confirmed that it was him.
Yeah,
so,
he was like, it wasn't you going 40 in the slow lane or something like that.
Yeah.
And she was like, no, and he was like, well, yeah, that was me.
Well, it could be that because it was captured on camera that I'm not saying he's you know, not telling the truth because I don't know, but you just never know.
Yeah,
Right.
some
You'd be
people
like,
do
oh,
things on
you know,
camera.
I know that if somebody said that they captured me on Dashcam on their rear camera, I would be saying, no, that's not me, even if it was.
Oh, that's
You know, just to
interesting.
save myself.
Yeah.
I would probably say that.
Yeah.
Just so that you're
You
not being
just never
stalked.
know.
Me, I'd be fine with telling them that it was me as long as, like, if they posted somewhere, blur out my license plate and my face.
Right. Right.
Yeah,
Huh.
because if you haven't told by my vlogs, Marilyn likes looking like a thug.
But it's just amazing. Two red verses with the same G1W dash cam.
Oh,
It's like, what are the chances? Huh.
You know how we confirmed it wasn't him is because Halos, well, he says he has an SV. We've never actually seen his car, but he says he has an SV, and the one that I captured on rear dash cam, that was not a Versa SV.
Ah, what was it?
I
It's a
don't
base
remember.
one.
It's whatever their lowest.
Oh,
trim.
okay, their base. Yeah. So maybe he's got a fan out there that drives a red Versa, and he's like, hey, I drive a red Versa too. Maybe I'll put a G1W up. I mean, I don't know.
I mean, he did. And also in my live stream, he did state like what would be on the back end of his vehicle.
Pull
He
up your
messed up and
reservation.
said it. He was like, "Oh yeah, oh wait."
Ah.
Let's see Roadcam.
So then you have seen Halo.
No, we didn't see it. It was just he told us what he would put on the back end of his vehicle,
Oh, okay.
and I made mental note of it.
Yeah.
I'm actually very. I'm not afraid to ask questions. Marilyn
Right.
tells me all the time that I don't give a fuck attitude.
You're totally cool. Yeah, just like
DJAF. Well, I'm sure sooner or later one of you will see him.
Yeah, it's gonna happen because there's like 5 of us in the same
But
area.
you said you've seen 2 verses, right? 2 different verses.
I think it is, but I can't be for like.
Oh,
for
okay.
fact. So I mean, it's
If
still a question.
once you do confirm that you've seen 2 verses, then chances are one of those would be Halo.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, if we know it's an SV, there's bound to be a smaller amount of SVs than just verses out there, you know?
Yeah.
So,
Oh, it's just an incredible coincidence, though. If that wasn't him.
yeah. Oh, yeah.
Crazy coincidence.
confirmation mail. All right, so apparently USC Dashcam didn't reserve this room, so
Uh-oh.
we have to move out because somebody
Again.
else is reserving it.
My God.
Yeah.
I'm done with y'all.
So, how far do you have to go?
Hopefully we can just find another open room, but we're gonna mute ourselves for a second.
Okay.
Oh, my Lord.
Yeah.
Now, Napa, do you just have your Facebook just for, like, your actual, like, people can friend request you Facebook just for shits and giggles?
They can, but my main Facebook page is actually like it's like a fan page, I guess. But in order to have a fan page, you have to have a personal page. Of course, that personal page has a fake name in my avatar, so I don't really use my personal, Talford Winstonworth, which is not really my name. It's actually the name of the guy who used to troll me. So I don't really use that. I mean, people still friend me, and I'll still accept friends requests on it. But I mainly just have that so I can have my fan page. I don't know if that makes sense.
Yeah, it does to me.
So it's just like a piggyback account. Because, yeah, it's weird. Facebook doesn't let you just have a fan page. You have to have a personal page backing it. So I had to come up with that alias, Talford Winstonworth. God, I'll never forget that guy either.
Why?
Oh, we got in hardcore arguments, that guy and I,
God.
long time ago, years ago. Yeah.
Yeah, that's why I thought
That guy-
Haley didn't like me.
You what?
And that's why I thought Halo didn't like me, because we had actually had an argument one time under one of his videos, and
Oh.
the day he joined my live stream, I was like, so I must not have made him that mad.
Oh, what was the argument about?
It was about if you could swerve around a car in an intersection, because when I was in driver's ed, they told us no, you couldn't do it at all.
Huh.
Which USC has actually shown me the code now. Apparently you can, but with exceptions. So
Okay.
probably what we've come up with is that while I was in driver's ed, so that they didn't have to teach us the exceptions, they probably were just like, no, you can't do it, just to make it simple.
Right.
But I mean, that's what I was taught, and driver's ed taught me, no, you can't do it. So when he did it, he was like, as much as you want it to be, it's not illegal. And I was like, and we were all, and a bunch of people actually were like, yeah, it is illegal. We all thought it was.
Right.
And so, I mean, after that argument, I really thought he didn't like me for a long time.
Was it a pretty heated argument?
Oh yeah.
Oh my God. Yeah,
Oh,
I actually got in a bit of an argument with Halo on a live stream regarding what was it? It was in regard to money, the Coinage Act. You know, whether businesses and governmental agencies were allowed to deny certain denominations of cash. That was a pretty heated argument that we had on the live stream. I think I was hosting the live stream. And it's so funny because after that, I looked it up on the U.S. Treasury's website, and it turns out I was right.
Yeah. But I mean, he's very good at road law, but I kind of proved in my live stream that he's not into family law. Because we were talking about how young you can be in South Carolina to marry. And he's like, I thought it was 14. And I was like, no, it used to be 14, but now it's 16. And 16 and 17 get married, but with a parental consent. Your parents have to sign. And, but I mean, I work for a family lawyer, so I have to know certain things like this.
Yeah.
And one of these days, whenever I finish school, I plan to work in the juvenile delinquency field. So, it's one of those things.
Yeah. Yeah, he does pride himself in being very knowledgeable in the traffic laws of South Carolina, and his ability to interpret, various laws.
But see, the thing
legalese.
with law is that you have to. It's almost like an art. You have to perfect it and learn what you're looking for. And if you don't learn what you're looking for, you're going to interpret it completely wrong.
Right, right.
And that's one of the things that me and him kind of agree on, is that while we get aggravated with people when they start going, oh, what this law says,
right,
you're not exactly interpreting it to its full extent. You're just taking that small piece and thinking that's the whole thing, and it really irritates me.
They're not reading the whole thing, and they're not. It's really about the English language. It's about having a full grasp of the English language, the way things are written. If someone doesn't have a full grasp on the English language, maybe most people don't have 100% reading comprehension potential. Not everybody does. Well, most people don't have 100%. But, and there's plenty of people who have very poor reading comprehension skills, so they're not understanding how certain can't think of the words here.
Yeah,
how certain words can modify a clause.
Yeah, and that's one of the things that if you don't study law, you're not going to realize, is because even to this day, I still have issues with it, and I've been studying it for 4 years now. Is that this one small word can make a huge difference?
That's right.
The law
change the context of something entirely.
And then you're just sitting there going, I thought it was this, but but you didn't. If you don't take the second that it takes to read every word,
Yeah.
you're going to screw the whole thing up.
Right.
And that's actually one of the things I'm learning in my criminal procedure class now is that
Mm-hmm.
she tries to teach us because she was a lawyer and then a judge, and now she's retired. Actually, I think she still has her lawyer license. She talks about it every once in a blue moon. Is that she tries to teach us to read every word, not just skim through it like most
Right.
people do.
Right.
And
Right.
she's preparing us to read the letter of the law.
Right.
And that's one of the things that when people start getting into the letter of the law, I'm like, you've got to read the whole thing. And if you don't read the whole thing, you're going to have an issue with it.
I've studied in painful detail each vehicle code that I get challenged on by my viewers.
I mean,
So I have to, break it down for them and say, yes, I can use my PA system in certain circumstances. Because if you skim through it, it looks like it's illegal to use your PA system at all if it can be heard for more than 50 feet away from the source. But if you really study it, you can say, oh, okay, maybe it is legal. I can show you an example of that if you want to see it.
sure.
Let's see, PA speaker. Got into a lot of arguments about this with people. I think it's CVC 27007, I believe. I'm not really good at memorizing the numbers of each code section, but
It takes a lot to memorize those.
is there let's see, I wonder if I can post this in the live chat. I wonder if there's a character. Oh yeah, there is a character limit. Well, here, I'll just post the link. It might be spammed if I try to do it here.
If it spams it, Marilyn can go and accept it
I don't know.
if he's paying
Oh
attention.
yeah, any web addresses. It can't be. Yeah. Okay, well, if you just Google CVC 27007, it'll come up. Yep, it pulls it right up when you Google CVC 27007. Google, pulls up the excerpt.
20027.
27007.
Okay.
Oh, while you're looking that up, I want to answer Driving Mistakes in SoCal's question here. Sorry, I didn't mean to ignore you there. Actually, I didn't. I saw your question, but do upload times affect video success as much for dashcam videos? I think it affects video success no matter what genre you're doing. It really does make a difference. I think it makes the biggest difference with your initial view count. So like the view count you get in the first 24 hours is the most affected by when and what day of the week you upload and around what holidays.
Put the code that you're talking about in the live
Oh,
chat.
yeah, in the live chat. That's a good idea.
Yeah.
Okay. There we go.
Everyone can follow along that way.
All right. So I don't know if you have it up in front of you now.
Hey, can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Sound like you're in a
In a cavern.
stairwell.
Yeah, we're walking upstairs. We still haven't found a room yet.
Oh, okay. No driver of a vehicle shall operate or permit the operation of any sound amplification system which can be heard outside the vehicle from 50 or more feet when the vehicle is being operated upon a highway, unless that system is being operated to request assistance or warn of a hazardous situation. Okay, see, that's unless is one of those words that you have
Exactly.
to.
That's what I was just about to say. I was going to say these people that argue with me about this always seem to forget that the word unless is there. They don't understand how these two clauses are connected with the word unless. It's confusing to people. And to me it's clear as day. It's like, okay, because they think that that even if you're warning of a hazardous situation, it cannot be heard from 50 feet or more from the vehicle. But yeah, they don't understand how the two clauses are being connected.
Yeah.
And the word unless.
Yeah, that's one of those words that you have to look for, because if that usually means that there's an exception.
Right. But I just wanted to share that very simple example of something that trips people up. That really shouldn't trip people up. You know, like when I'm telling people their brake lights are not working, you know, that's clearly allowed under that vehicle code section. Then you get into slightly more gray areas, like if somebody's trying to, there's an intersection here where people aren't allowed to turn left. It's a no left turn, and if I get on the PA system and say you can't turn left there, you have to turn right. That could possibly be construed as a hazardous situation. Could, because if the person does turn left, they could collide with another driver that has a green light, a green arrow.
Yeah. So, I mean...
Although, I guess that's not as much of a gray area, but yeah, it's a lot of things that people don't think about. There's like the vehicle code section on horn use. I think it's CVC 27001, or maybe it's 2. Let me see here. Oh no, that's no person shall operate a siren. Okay, that's not it. I don't have a siren, so I don't have to worry about that.
Well,
oh,
we're
there
still
it
to
is.
the main level now.
It's 27001. I don't have the verbiage up in front of me, but I know it says something to the effect of
the driver of a motor vehicle, when reasonably necessary to ensure safe operation, shall give audible warning with his horn.
You smell food?
with the horn, right?
The
So one
horn
question
shall not
that's
otherwise be used except as a theft alarm
They're talking
system,
about California
or
laws.
phrase as a specified in Article 13. So there's an A and a B to this, so there's two different parts to this that you have to be careful of.
right.
But A is almost pretty straightforward with it, is the driver of a motor vehicle, when reasonably necessary to ensure safe operation,
Right.
shall give audible warning with his horn. And that the reasonably necessary, it comes into play there. And and see, the thing with reasonably necessary is, what would a average person think reasonable?
Right. And that's so subjective. That's such a subject. See, this is why that vehicle code section is one of the biggest gray areas in the vehicle code. At least, just in talking to other police officers about it, and they're obviously not lawyers, but it's interesting hearing their interpretations of various vehicle codes. And so, like, there's two sections that are kind of subjective: reasonably necessary and safe operation.
Well, that's just like North Central Maryland said something about speed must be reasonable and prudent. The thing with speed is they post the speed and you're supposed to follow it, yes.
Yeah.
But if everybody around you is going 10 over, they can't pull you over for going 10 over because you're going with the speed of traffic.
Right.
That's how it is here.
I mean, you could.
Yeah, that's the speed speed
So
differential is
you
where
can
the
just take a
hazard is, where
skill
the danger
ahead
is.
from me and we can-
And I get into arguments with that about people. Say, if you're even going 1 mile an hour over the speed limit, slower is safer, and you hear arguments like that, and you hear arguments like,
we could try.
if you're exceeding the speed limit, it's never safe to exceed the speed limit. Well, and I'll come back with, okay, so why is it that if the speed limit's 40 miles an hour and I'm going 40, that to you is safe? But if I go
But we can't let you
40.1,
lose the
all of a sudden that's not safe.
Well, no, because
You know, so I'll point that out. That usually shuts them up right away. But
we should.
it's an arbitrary
You get the
number
Wi-Fi
that was agreed upon. It's a neat
inside of the
whole
library.
number. See, we like neat whole numbers in human psychology. They work well.
Hey, are you guys still able to hear us?
Yes. And it's funny because speed limits are not actually based directly upon what is safe. Speed limits, at least in California, are largely determined by traffic studies and how fast people actually go. It's like the 85th percentile. And so I'll usually bring that up in arguments about exceeding the speed limit.
Well, see, I'm one of those people that I have a tendency to go 10 over, no matter what.
Right.
Swear to God, I don't think they can hear us.
Oh, I can hear you.
We can hear you.
Okay, so we're outside the library now. We had to get completely out of the library.
Oh, how come?
There was nowhere inside. Is everything hearing okay? Because
Yeah, I can hear you.
on his laptop, we're kind of losing signal. Hearing okay?
What a day.
Yeah.
Hey, just mute that.
Yeah, so there are a lot of flaws with the slower is safer argument.
Son of a gun.
In some cases, yes, that's true, but definitely not in all cases.
Yeah, in all cases, I mean, it's just depends because that's why do you think they have a minimum on interstates?
Right. We have an unspoken minimum here in California. They aren't posted. However, there's the vehicle code that basically says.
Do you have the app on your phone?
Without pulling it up, it says
Get the app out and do it that way, I guess.
a driver may not drive so slow as to impede the reasonable flow of
That might be the
traffic.
best thing
So
to
that's
do.
where our speed minimum comes into play. Where if you are impeding the reasonable flow of traffic, you're going too slow and you subject yourself to a citation under that pursuant to that code.
I think we have one like that here.
Yeah. So whatever the reasonable flow is of course based on the majority speed, what the main prevailing speed is. So probably, what the
I can hear fine.
maybe what the average, about what the average or median speed would be.
Because it's through the Google Hangouts. It's not through like what you have up on YouTube.
They're having a struggle.
We're getting it. He's Maryland's switching to use his phone as opposed to I'm on my phone right now, so Maryland's gonna switch to use his phone, and then we should be good for the rest of the stream.
Well, it's about it.
Because apparently I don't know what happened. I thought I booked the room for the extra 2 hours, but I don't know what happened. I never got sent an email or anything, so I don't know what's going on. But we're good now.
Yeah, I blew right past the sheriff today on the freeway going 15 over. I was going 15 over because everybody else was, and he didn't pull anybody over.
Haven't there been studies that say like going with the flow of traffic, regardless of what speed you're going, is
safer?
It's always
Absolutely.
the safer thing. Yeah,
absolutely. I'm totally agree with that, and that's because the speed differential is one of the dangers of driving.
I think it's. Are you
So
doing
if you're
it
going
through
significantly,
YouTube? You have the Google Hangouts app. I don't have that.
if you're going
that's what you
significantly
need.
slower or faster than the main flow of traffic, then that's a hazard. So going too slow or too fast, it all depends on what the average driver is going. But that's only part of the picture. I mean, in cases like if you're on a rural highway with animals and deer that cross the road, then slower is safer.
Are you seriously gonna?
And a lot of people don't get that because where I live, we have a lot of back roads and we have a lot of deer.
Right.
And yeah, once you get to the feel of it, you can go a little faster than normal.
Yeah.
But going over like 5 over the speed
There's still
limit,
people watching.
you don't even want to try that because
There were
you
five
keep going
when
that
I
fast
looked
and then
up.
there's a deer in front of you and you're screwed.
Yeah. So there are definitely times where slower is safer.
Yeah.
I tend to not go much over the limit, if at all, at night or when it's raining or in an area where there are a lot of animals. So I have to, you just weigh the overall conditions that you're driving in. Like, okay, so today it was raining and I was on the freeway. Everybody was going 15 over. I knew that there would not be any animals running across the freeway.
Yeah, they're
So
still
I
going.
figured it was safer,
How is
it
that
was
possible?
just fine to go 10 over because everybody else was, so.
Because he didn't press the end button on the Google Hangouts. That is how we are still talking.
So the YouTube thing's like completely screwed over right now. Then
It's still going because he didn't press you. It's like a call. You have to press that little red phone for it to end the
Yeah,
whole
but we're
stream.
wondering if like the actual live stream is live.
Yeah, it is because I
or-
can still people talking.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I
So
can still see it on my screen.
so we could like. So what you're saying is, even though we started in it, we're hosting it on his laptop. His laptop doesn't necessarily have to be like connected to this to stay going.
Not really, no.
No,
Oh.
no.
Okay.
Yeah, so we're
Well.
still going. So don't blurt out your social security number.
I was just about to do that.
I bit my
I have my
my
card out and
lip when I
everything.
said that. I started saying social security number and I bit my lip and it sounded like social security number.
I just smashed a bug on my computer.
That's fun.
What kind of bug?
I don't know. It's some kind of beetle though, and I didn't even mean to
What we do
crush
for
it.
being outside.
Yeah.
I know. I accidentally killed a lizard inside the house.
You got a lizard in your house?
Oh, we got tons of lizards that live around here. It's like, we got like the cold tile floors, and the lizards, when it's hot outside, they like to seek, cool temperatures. So they'll try to come inside the house. And one time, there was a lizard under my shoe, and I picked it up, and I freaked out for a second because I thought it was a bug, and my first instinct was
really
to slap
intimate.
the shoe down and
Okay.
smash whatever it was. And I killed a poor blue-belly lizard. Yeah.
Wow.
See, in
I-
South Carolina, we have an issue with palmetto bugs.
You probably don't
Palmetto bugs?
honestly.
What are those?
Huge flying cockroaches.
Oh my god.
Oh yeah.
Oh, there's some really big ones.
They're disgusting.
Let me look one up. Palmetto.
What
What
are
is it
like
called?
the stink bugs?
Palmetto.
Oh, I see it here. Oh yeah. A Florida woods cockroach. So these things fly, huh?
Yep.
Wow. Yeah, they look a little creepy.
I can see my breath.
Are they hard to kill? They look hard. Like they have a hard shell on their.
It's more
I've
you
stepped
gotta-
on a few.
You gotta step on it and then kind of move your foot a little bit to kill it.
I know they're
Yeah.
obviously
Well, cockroaches are
they're
hard to kill
insects or
anyways.
exoskeletons, so they've do have somewhat hard exterior, but these look extra hard to kill.
The house that I'm renting down here has a really good pesticide application around it, so as soon as they try and crawl through the walls or anything, they end up on their backs on the floor, just kind of wiggling for a couple hours.
God. Oh,
So, yeah.
we have scorpions here too, and
Oh, God.
Oh my
I
god.
remember
no.
I remember Chevron used to sell this insecticide. I mean, it was the most potent shit you could ever get your hands on, seriously, without being considered a terrorist. This stuff was
Slowly now.
so potent that the Environmental Protection Agency finally banned it. And we used to spray that stuff around the house, and it would keep the scorpions out. I mean, it would kill anything. You'd never found bugs in the house. And Chevron had to, unfortunately, stop making it. Yeah, if it's put out by Chevron, you know it's serious shit.
Chevron's got it made.
So, yeah. Louisiana, it says that the stream stopped. It's still going for me.
Oh, I think it did.
I don't know.
Because this thing
It's saying live
says
on mine.
Wait, let me check it on.
But
my
are you
phone.
looking at the Google Hangout or the actual YouTube?
Oh, I'm
page?
looking at the YouTube page where
Yeah.
the others are seeing it.
Google Hangout says live, and then YouTube page says live.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I'm checking it.
the Hangout, we definitely are live. The
Okay, he
YouTube
said
page,
it was
I
just
don't know.
lag. Louisiana Dashcam's having lag. We're good.
Oh, okay.
He started giving us all heart attacks.